Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die's live stream coverage of the New York Islanders against the Ottawa Senators. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the grumpy old man. He's our NHL analyst and expert, and they say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
Yes, and the game has already started. We're already at the first timeout. TJ, I don't know where you are. If you can tell me when you have puck drop.
Okay. I got you. We'll be on the same page. I'll let you know when we get puck drop again in the Island or the Ottawa Senators defensive zone. The Ottawa Senators are coming off of a skid in the last 5 games. I think they've conceded. They're 1-4 and conceded 20 goals over the last 5 games. So this is a prime game for the Islanders to beat up on the Ottawa Senators. No doubt about it, grumpy old man.
They don't have a winning record. That's the type of team that we handle pretty well. It's the teams that actually are able to win. They're giving us
puck drop, grump.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, I tell you. Ross Johnson in the lineup. Kyle Clutterbuck still out of the lineup with that undisclosed injury.
Isn't that a guy we just signed to an extension? He can't seem to get on the ice. Okay, just want to make
sure. He was injured already. So
those are the type of guys you want to resign at 34 years old. Okay, I'm just questioning. That's all.
Well, here's the thing. He's been healthy this season. I have no issue at all with his health. Generally speaking, he's relatively healthy. That's not the issue with the signing.
Used to be.
What do you mean used to be?
Ever since he signed a new contract, he hasn't been able to get in a lineup.
Yeah, the one game since he hasn't been able to get in the lineup.
I just like how Ross Johnston, he's like, hey, Brady Tkachuk, I'm not taking any of your crap. They starting to get into right off the opening face-off. I expect no trouble at all from Ottawa. No physicality, no nothing. Not with Ross the Boss in there.
Yeah, Ross the Boss Johnson, a fan favorite for certain. Glad he's in the lineup here tonight. Also, again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is a twice-a-week Islanders podcast that goes live every Wednesday and every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That being said, anytime the Islanders play a game that's not on a Thursday or a Sunday, we also go live during that game to provide you a little different type of commentary throughout the game. Hopefully, it'll bring you a little bit of a cheer and joy throughout the game. So again, if you're new to the channel, we invite you to stick around. We invite you to subscribe on YouTube. We invite you to like on Facebook and to follow on Twitter. The only reason we do not cover games live on Thursdays and Sundays is because we have a separate podcast called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. That could be found in the link in the description below. It could also be found as a featured page on our YouTube channel here. You could find it again. It will look like this: TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
True. That's exactly what it looks like.
Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that show, and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you give that a check out. Make sure you subscribe to that on YouTube.
wonder. I mean, I thought Kiefer Bellows looked pretty good playing on the fourth line against the Flyers on Sunday. And I'm just wondering why he didn't get in. I mean, he had 3 shots on goal, was looked like the most energetic player out there, honestly. And for some reason, he doesn't get another game. Just wondering why.
Well, we've got our roster cemented in for all of next year too, so Bellows has no future here for the next few years. That being said, also a reminder: I will be on vacation. I'll be on holiday, starting this Friday until April the 10th, April the 11th. So the podcast will definitely be altered. It will be shorter. We'll probably be doing once a week. Make sure you've got notifications turned on so you don't miss out. We will be doing an abridged version of the podcast with less podcasts when I'm overseas. We're still going to try to provide, the same exact quality content that we always strive to provide here with the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, but it will just be a little more infrequent for the next 2 weeks as I'm on holiday.
True.
Absolutely.
Why is Varlamov starting? Are we back to the every game on, game off thing? Back to?
We've been like that over the last 8 games, Grump.
Well, I thought maybe it was because we were looking to deal Varlamov, but I guess that's just the way it's going to be for the next year or two.
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter if you've got a top 10 netminder in Sorokin. We're not going to go, hey, hot hand goalie. We're going to go every other game, it looks like. And again, Varlamov has played well as of late. Goaltending is not the reason why we've struggled this year.
True.
That's not the issue.
I guess, in the playoffs, they play the hot goalie. So I don't expect that to change for the next year or two. Okay. It'll be game on, game off.
You enjoying yourself, Grump?
I am enjoying myself. I am.
Jesus Christ. My God. I was ready to put it behind us after yesterday's podcast. I'm done talking about the woes. I really am. We're just going to focus on today's game.
Okay. I'll bet you the fans are still upset.
I think they were able to associate with the anger that we had in yesterday's podcast. I think so. We had a state of the emergency podcast yesterday after doing nothing at the NHL trade deadline. But the Islanders today facing
off like absolute trash.
God!
We're playing like absolute trash so far against Ottawa.
It's only 4 minutes in, but Ottawa just had a few premium opportunities to score. And you see Varlamov going, oh, man, that was a prime opportunity for them to score. It looks like we were lost. I think that Pulock misses his man as he mismarks his man, and they get a few prime opportunities to put one in the back of the net. Good job by Varlamov coming up big.
I'm just – everything I've seen in the Flyer game, and I'll – reserve judgment on today's game or for what I'm thinking until after this game.
Well, good. Let's see if we can do that then, Grump.
I doubt it, but I'll try.
The reason I said that is because I know you. I've worked with you, podcasted with you. Holy crap, my God. Ottawa looks like they are. They smell some blood in the water. They're coming out firing on all cylinders early on. That is for certain. Again, they have just been embarrassed on this road trip that I think that they've been on 1-4 over the last 5 games. So they're trying to end that, I believe, with a win or a bump in the win column, Grump.
And we look like we played for 55 games this year. Uninspired, lethargic, dominated by just everyone. Okay. Maybe that's just, just maybe.
Or 5 minutes in, you're letting the shit that we talked about yesterday bleed over into this.
No, we played yesterday. No, you know what? I had that feeling after the Flyer game also, if you remember.
Not as severe as what you're displaying here 4 minutes into the game, because the Islanders are going on the power play, Grump. Time for the Islanders power play to get things going.
Well, let's hope we get some production. I don't think Ottawa's not one of the better teams on the penalty kill, so maybe we'll benefit there. I know that they had Barzell out there just prior to that first line. Let's see who the power play people are going to be.
Okay, Grumpy.
I don't know what that is. That the tap? No, I'm sorry. I just hate that call. I've hated it for years. I mean, it was a love tap. Really, he didn't interfere with them. Didn't take him off the puck. All right, if you take it off the puck, I give him the penalty call, but not that. Come on, fellas.
Grumpy, come on, man.
Go on there, what? I'm just saying, I hate those penalty calls.
I know you do. I'll put it to you like this, though. It's always called in today's game. It's unfortunate. It just is what it is.
I mean, if the guy loses the puck, okay, I can see it. But if you don't even lose the puck, I don't know. Matty B is winding it up.
Well, he's skating through the zone. That was very vague. I wouldn't say he's winding up. He's trying to skate through the zone, but he's dispossessed. We've got about 30 seconds off of the power play here. Minute and 30 remaining on the Islanders' first power play of the game. 5 minutes into the game, and Islanders really haven't done much of anything. Oh, my God. Brock Nelson stripped at the point, and then a turnover by Anders Lee. The Ottawa Senators are able to clear the zone and break off about a minute of the power play.
Yeah, we had some chances there. Again, it was the first line, Barzell's line, that had sustained offensive zone time and drew the penalty. It's nice to see.
Yeah, and you're talking about Matt Barzal, Zach Parise, and Oliver Walsh. Got to be specific here, Grumpy, for those who listen.
Okay, most people are probably watching the game with the alternate commentary, shall I say.
You always start off every podcast the same, and it takes you about 10 minutes to warm into yourself, Grump, every time. Oh man, this Islanders power play has been woeful. We're about a minute and a half into this power play. We have not established any sort of zone time or pressure. That's our first shot. Kyle Palmieri is able to rifle towards a netminder, and my God, the passes. Look at that.
Bailey, don't even pretend to shoot Bailey. Man, he sucks. Sorry.
And you want to know what you noticed out here as well? Is Oliver Wahlstrom on the power play this time?
Why would he be on the power play?
No, Oliver Wahlstrom's still not on the power play. You've got Anthony Beauvillier on the second power play. It's Kyle Palmieri, Anthony Beauvillier, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, Josh Bailey, and I think I said Kyle Palmieri, Zach Parise. Oh God, maybe I messed up Parise and Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Long story short, Oliver Wahlstrom for the 9th game in a row, not receiving any power play minutes.
Guy with the best shot on the team. The guy who's probably most valuable. Does he still lead the team in power play goals?
Couldn't tell you.
Or has he been passed? I don't know. But all I know is he was leading the team in power play goals because that's where he truly shines. And for whatever reason, Barry Trotz doesn't feel he should be on the power play. Makes you question a lot of things.
Okay. Yeah. Regarding power play goals, Brock Nelson's got 7 power play goals. Grumpy. Anders Lee's got 7 power play goals. Oliver Wahlstrom is in 3rd in 5 power play goals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how many power play chances he's had compared to the other 2 clowns, but I'm going to guarantee it's been a lot less.
You want to know what's kind of crazy about this? People talk about, hey, is Brock Nelson and is Anders Lee going to be able to repeat the level of success they've had? And I look at the team and I look at the shooting percentage. Brock Nelson this year is shooting 21.4%.
Not sustainable.
Not sustainable is correct. Anders Lee is shooting 20.2%.
Not sustainable.
Do we really think that's going to improve next year?
Like I said, it's not surprising to me that they're having good years when we don't even sniff the playoffs. That's not surprising to me at all. Those guys I call them stat stuffers. And that's what they are. When there's no pressure on to win or perform, they're really good. But, when the chips are down, no, they're not. I mean, just look at the numbers. Look at their numbers from when we were technically in the playoff race and when we haven't been. They're just night and day.
Drew L saying, TJ Grump, hello. I sent you guys Twitter, my reactions to the deadline. It's 3 things and skip the articles. Yeah, we'll look at that here, Drew. I'll be honest with you. I had to unplug from social media after the last little bit. Had to unplug, Drew. Had to take some time off. George P saying, what a load of horseshit. Lou shoveled into that hideous interview. Yeah, I don't know who he thinks he's fooling. I guess he fools some, but
he fools fans. Fools fans.
Oh, we did have a good opportunity there. Bailey, who took a slapper. Look at this. Bailey, who took a slap shot, had an oh man, Kyle Palmieri hits the post. Wow,
that shot wouldn't even been on target. Then Palmieri hits a post.
Yeah, that's what I said. Josh Bailey, it was a nice save by the netminder. Josh Bailey puts on target, and Kyle Palmieri then proceeds to hit the post.
Let me know when they have puck drop, because I think I'm still ahead of you.
Okay, they've got puck drop.
Okay.
They've had puck drop. Are you ahead of me or behind me?
I thought I was still ahead of you. Maybe I was behind. Doesn't matter.
12, 26, 25.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. Drill is saying, but wait, I can't. But I just wait until we re-sign Scott Mayfield. Then it's going to be a really painful. I think he's going to ask for too much. Maybe we do re-sign him and overpay for Mayfield. I don't know. I would assume probably not. It's tough to do that. Oh wow, we're going to be on the power play again. The second Islanders power play is upcoming in the first 10 minutes of action. Islanders are going to see 2 power plays. Didn't do much with the first power play. Looked like we squandered every opportunity. But
we had opportunities, though. I mean, we did generate chances.
That's a penalty?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wow. Those are 2 weak-ass penalties.
He's stopping and then collides with Pelech. And he's like, where the hell's the call? I don't know. Tkachuk is a guy who, I mean, he plays aggressive like that. He's going to run the risk. He's going to run the risk of getting penalized in that nature.
Lou called the official, says, hey, we're going to have to win some games, fellas. You're going to have to start calling penalties on the other team. I don't care if they got to play 2 men short the whole game. My rep is on the line here.
Well, at least we have controlled the puck in the offensive zone. I'd say more on this power play, this short power play already, than we did. Oh my God, Brock Nelson is dispossessed of the puck, and again, I was able to clear the zone. They're able to get a line change.
That's what Brock Nelson is. That's what he is. He's had a good year. But he's just an average. He's like an average player, is what he is. Nothing special about him.
Well, we're about a minute into the second power play the Islanders have had, and again, nothing to show for it. We have not registered a shot so far this power play either. This has got to be discouraging, right? You'd feel like?
No. I mean, we're controlling the puck here. Nice job. I mean, it's not like they're having shorthanded chances against us, which has, been the case more often than not this year. We controlled the puck. I mean, okay, we haven't scored, but I think we've been all right.
I'm going to tell you this. We should be able to control the puck. We should be able to control the puck on the power play.
Bailey.
Here it is, another turnover entering the zone.
Bailey. I don't understand the Bailey on the power play, though. I just will not understand. I refuse to understand.
Oh, and we almost look at that. That was a nice job there by Brock Nelson. And we've been doing that quite a bit lately. When we have a guy who streaks towards the net, who's unmarked as we're on the power play, and we have that off-centered pass. And again, it goes to the guy who's streaking in, who's unmarked. And Jean-Gabriel Pageau is unable to redirect the shot on net or the pass on net.
Yeah, he just wasn't strong enough with the bottom hand there.
He wasn't strong enough on a stick. So a minute and 30 seconds burned on this. Oh my God, shoot the puck, Bailey.
He won't shoot it. He won't shoot he refuses.
Water.
At some point in time, you have to shoot the puck, don't you? At some point in time. Why is he on the power play? I just don't understand why he's on the power play. He's the least offensive player we have.
Least offensive, talented player, perhaps. At least talented forward. Maybe
it's offensive to have to watch him play, honestly. But, I mean, no.
Grumpy, you see this right here? The fire hydrant in action. What you drinking today, Grump?
What do you think I'm drinking?
You got some purple drink?
That's what I drink, right?
I didn't know if you had yourself a little protein shake today. I don't know, Grump. This is the second power play in a row now we've looked woeful on. We didn't have many chances. The chances we did have, we weren't able to execute on.
Okay, now that's different than looking woeful. I don't think we've looked woeful. I mean,
we could not possess the puck. We had bad zone entries on the power play after power play opportunity, and the chances we did have, we were unable to execute on.
That's fine.
I think that's woeful. That's the definition of woeful.
Okay.
You can't go ahead and carry the puck over the zone. You have a few chances. I'm talking about premium opportunities to score because the Ottawa Senators have given up on average 4 goals a game over the last 5 games. You got 2 power plays early. You have a few chances, unable to execute as well.
I guess my description of woeful is different than yours. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, we didn't produce, but we had total zone time. It's not like we dumped it in, they kicked it right back out, we got nothing going. We had sustained offensive zone time, but we just couldn't convert. A little bit not strong enough on the lower hand for J.G. Pajot on a nice pass from Nelson. Bailey had a couple of opportunities to shoot. He didn't. Palmieri missed a couple of shots on goal. He hit a post. I mean, sometimes the pucks just don't go in, but we've had opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really bad team in Ottawa. That's all I'm going to say, right? We should look like against the Ottawa Senators. We should look like like a fantastic squad. As simple as that, right? Ottawa is another team that was doubling down on, hey, we're looking all towards the rebuild here going forward. They still are. They're a team that's majorly in the rebuild spot and selection. Drew L says, I'm sorry. Doug R says, welcome to day one of the long wait to get back in the playoffs, much less winning the cup.
True. TJ mentioned something to me yesterday. Maybe we'll bring it up on the podcast tomorrow, that he doesn't think I'm going to live long enough to see the Islanders win a Stanley Cup.
Grumpy. You might not. We'll bring it up. We'll bring it up on the podcast tomorrow. Grumpy, what are you, Grumpy, in your 60s, I assume?
Yes, that's what I am, yes.
Average male lives to 72 years old.
I'm hoping to live longer than that, but maybe I won't. I don't know.
Grumpy, I don't know. I said, let's just talk at the average man. You never know, Grump. Anthony R says here, it's a must-lose game. Yeah, every game is a must-lose game here for that. Well, don't worry. When we start playing these tough, talented teams, this is the Ottawa Senators. We got beat by the Flyers. I think we didn't look great in that game recently.
Terrible.
And I'd argue, right, take the penalties out. Which you had two calls against. Right, usually penalties even themselves out. I don't see the Islanders having 5 power plays today to the Ottawa Senators 0. But everything evens out. I think in 5-on-5, Ottawa has looked slightly better than us tonight. Ottawa's a bad team. We play some really good teams up ahead.
Oh, I'm just hoping we can beat the bad teams. So for me, it's all about what's our effort level, particularly for some of the lazy dogs on this team who just showed up 3 weeks before the deadline. And I just reading some of the comments, and it seemed like, they made the decision just a couple of days before that they weren't going to get rid of anybody. They told that to the team, and then the team went back to playing like garbage like they have all year. Interesting. Those aren't guys I want. Here's the thing. I'm not taking those guys in my foxhole. That much I'm telling you.
Oh man. I thought you said hold on.
They'd be selling secrets to the Germans 2 minutes after they got picked up.
What?
They'd be selling secrets to the Germans. Like I said, I don't want them in my foxhole. They'd be selling secrets to the Germans 2 minutes after they got picked up.
I thought you said you don't read the comments. That's fine.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm talking about.
I
don't know what the comments are saying. I'm just saying I would want them in my foxhole is what I'm saying, because they played well just before the trade deadline, and then as soon as they were notified there were going to be no trades, they go back to how they played all year.
Grumpy, buddy. You need some water, Grump.
No, I don't need water. I need you to comprehend. I need you to comprehend.
You sound exasperated. Maybe you're just the Islanders have exasperated you. One of the two.
It's so disappointing. So disappointing.
It is.
It's back. Honestly, it's back to the way, for me, it's going to be right back to the way it was in the late 90s.
Can we try to do something? Because we did it the last 2 podcasts. If we can avoid oh man, things are miserable. Because again,
no, that was you the last 2 podcasts. I wasn't like that.
You were. What are you smoking? You went on a rampage. Did you think you were under control the last 2 podcasts?
Yeah, I definitely have been.
Okay, you've been.
Remember, first of all, that is my role on the podcast, not yours.
Well, let's see during a live stream if we could talk a little bit about the game and the comments we've got rolling in, because we're going to have a podcast tomorrow, Grump, and we don't want to go ahead and get the actual materials we talk about in the podcast all out, so we're kind of scrambling tomorrow. But yeah, because we've done a few here as of recent. What are we looking for? We're pretty obvious. We've doubled down. I don't want to talk about grandiose pictures and items like that, because that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. But getting back to the comments, you don't re-sign. That's why you do not re-sign Cal Clutterbuck. Want you to decide, says Ross Johnston. Johnson seems like he's foaming at the mouth tonight.
Yeah, I think it's the first time he's played in like a month. So, he wants to play. He probably wonders how he doesn't play over certain players. It's a concern for me.
Look at that. My God.
Ottawa's terrible, though.
Ottawa defensively looks awful. My
They
God. They've had a few chances offensively. Ottawa's another team that's got a long way to go. They've got a long way to go. There's no doubt about that. And Nick D saying, TJ Grump, how you guys doing tonight? What's up, Nick? Now I want the Islanders to tank for the rest of the season. I've been there for a while.
Yeah, well, TJ, it's your concern. Where are you going to trade that first round pick? That would be concerning.
I still think we're going to trade that pick. I think we're trading away draft capital, whether it's a first, a second, third. I have no idea what we're trading away. We're going to be trading away picks. And again, Grump, let's try to keep this, off of the items that would spur a conversation that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Can we try to do that?
But the people are asking questions. I mean, should we just ignore what they say?
I want the Islanders to tank the rest of the season. I don't know, Grump. Drew L saying here, I thought you're going on vacation, TJ. Was that the end of hockey season? Nope, that is going to be this Friday. Holy shit!
God.
He's got to be penalized.
How is that not a charge?
He's got to be penalized. He's got to be penalized for that. And here's the thing: that's a clean hit, in my opinion. Where the hell is the penalty on that?
Oh my God!
He should be penalized for that.
That's a
Adam Pelech should be penalized for that. In today's game, he should be penalized.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Ross Johnson stopped all that shit real quick.
That's right.
Ross Johnson stopped all that shit. Adam Pelech, that is a charge. I have no problem with it. I don't think it's just what's called a charge today, but in today's league, it's a penalty.
Now, 15 years ago, that's not a penalty.
He had that shoulder to head.
Shoulder to head. That shoulder to head. That's a penalty.
Yes, that is a penalty.
He got away with one. I'm just going to say, if it was against an Islander player,
you would
have heard a different spin by the announcers. Just call it for what it is. It was shoulder to head. Should have been a penalty. That's all. They just don't allow those plays anymore. I love those plays, but they just don't allow them anymore, unfortunately. That was just an open ice body. When was the last time you ever see an open ice body check anymore, or a hip check? Never
Not
see
often.
those.
Not often, Grumpy old
Denny Potvin and Darius Kasparaitis were really, really good at those hip checks.
That I'm honestly shocked. That's one of those, honestly, the league may look at later on.
Shoulder to head, they don't like that head contact at all.
And I think about the tap fouls on the wrist that were called.
Yeah.
It benefited real quick, Grumpy. It benefited the Islanders.
Yeah.
But that's one that you talk about player safety. I don't mind throwing the body. I like when they do that. But in today's NHL, you can't make contact with a shoulder to the head as first initial contact. That's always a penalty.
No, right. He didn't lunge, but anytime you hit a guy, your feet come off the ice because you're exerting that energy. That's why I always find well, his feet left the ice. Well, you hit a guy, if you're not leaning into him, you're going to get knocked on your keister a little bit. Just natural to come off the ice. I am surprised they didn't get a penalty call on
that. Here's the thing, Islander. God damn. I'm watching again. He should be suspended for that. He's got his head down and he makes contact. I don't think it was malicious in intent.
Yeah.
He made contact with Joseph's head. His shoulder made contact with Joseph's head first. No doubt in my mind that should be penalty.
And Ross just him beat once again. That's why Ross Johnson needs to play. There would have been a brawl there. Not with Ross Johnson there. He just grabbed the guy. That was it. No, I mean, right at the point of attack. It just, nope, we're not messing with him.
Yeah. And I put it like this. Islander fans, if that was Matt Barzal getting hit like that, would you think it's a penalty? And I think the answer should be a resounding yes. But hey, we got away with it. I'm not complaining. And because we had Ross Johnson lineup, just like you had mentioned, it didn't escalate. It didn't turn into a guy getting pummeled by Kachuk. Because
that's why it's so important to have him on the ice at all times.
Yes. Thanks for taking the rest of that for me. But yes, Grumpy, I agree with you 110%. We've only got about 5 minutes remaining here in the first period. You said not too much physicality. I wonder if this will cause Ottawa to ramp up the physicality in this game.
Okay, once again, Ross Johnson's on the ice tonight. So there's a limit to that.
Well, that's a cross check by Chara.
They don't call that on him. He's allowed to cross check.
I was about to say he gets. How many cross checks does he get away with? I don't complain because it benefits us. But here we go. There's the penalty. Hold on. Who's going to take that penalty? Who's going to take that penalty for the Islanders? What in the hell? Who's taking that penalty? After all the shit they've been letting go, they call that ticky-tack bullshit a call.
Yeah.
I think it's Oliver Wahlstrom, and that's what I was worried about.
Oh, boy. Because Barry gave him a list of guys they could call penalties on today. It's not the sacred cows. The young guys, yeah, you call them on them. It's all right. We're gonna see who it is. I don't know yet. We're going to find out. Or maybe Ottawa's just going to skate out the rest of the period in their own zone as opposed to trying to do anything on offense.
It was either him or Nelson. Let's see here. I'll be interested to see. I thought he was a bigger framed individual. I watch on my phone. Ooh, my God. Nice little move and dangle there by the Ottawa Senators. A nice cover up by Varlamov. 4 minutes remaining in the period. The Ottawa Senators are going to wow. Dobson. What? Noah Dobson gets called for what?
Holding the stick. Oh my God. Okay. I tell you what. I see our guys holding sticks all the time. I see every team holding sticks all the time. They never call that anymore.
How is the hit to the head not? How is the hit to the head not a penalty, but the holding of the stick is? And again, he did hold the stick, but I'm like, that's an infraction that never gets called. And I'm like, the hits to the heads about 95% of the time resoundingly get called every single time.
Matt Barzal holds a stick every time he has an offensive entry. Just grabs the guy's stick. Parise does it all the time. It's a veteran trick. Maybe he looked too much like a rookie on
it. He started the turnaround too. He needed to let go of the stick a little earlier.
Ottawa's got a couple of players who are pretty good. Tim Stoltz is pretty good. You could just see the jump in his game when he comes down. He's a guy who has individual talent, and Brady Tkachuk is pretty good. But I mean, you're right. They're totally in rebuild.
Yeah, and again, it's a team that's fully committed to rebuild. Got to make sure you draft the right pieces. There's a lot of ifs, ands. Tkachuk is a fantastic player. I think all the Tkachuk brothers are great. I mean, they're fantastic hockey players. They're chippy as shit. They're guys you hate to play against, but you would love to have on your team.
Yes.
Imagine a guy like Cal Clutterbuck, but more physically imposing and more skilled. That's what they are.
I mean, I tell you what, I've been impressed by the Stoltz kid without a doubt. Brady Tkachuk, I mean, I know he signed a long-term deal. I was surprised, honestly, that he did, but he must feel that they're going in the right direction.
I tell you, the few of the draft picks, like when I look at the 10th overall pick, was it Tyler Boucher? And I was like, my God, they've made some bad draft picks in the past. Maybe they didn't draft Boucher. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest with you, though. It wasn't too long ago. Ottawa's a really good team. I mean, a really good team for a long time. When Daniel Alfredson was there, and they were a good team. But they've really fallen on hard times the last few years.
David S. saying, that's because Trotz and Lou are idiots. Drill said, that certainly answered my question. Brian J. saying, go Senators. Need to lose for a better draft pick. Yes, I wouldn't disagree at all. Anthony R. said, hey, by the way, I heard on Twitter, Detroit reached out to the Islanders to make a substantial offer for Barzal. Interesting. This is something we may revisit in another year and a half. LOL.
They can get him for free in 2 years. Don't you think he'd be perfect for Detroit's system? My gosh, I didn't even think about that. He'd be absolutely perfect for them. With Yzerman as a GM, that's a good team for him to be with, honestly.
Imagine the 1-2 punch. And again, maybe you'll have to give up a guy like Dylan Larkin in return. But
he'll be the age that Lou likes then. He'll be in his 30s.
Yeah, getting back to what I was saying here. I mean, you're still going to have Lucas Raymond. You want to talk about a strong stiff arm right there. Strong check there by the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, Barzal I think he was a little too much on the edge there, and just an easy pushover.
Mm-hmm. And then Arthur Staple said Detroit was very fair in the deal on the table. here's the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. It was replying. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. Arthur Staple doesn't know shit. As much as I'd like to believe that he maybe has some sort of insight, he doesn't. Unfortunately, he knows nothing. He doesn't have the pull. He used to have pull. Maybe he's got a pull with somebody in Detroit that leaks some information. But at least from what my knowledge was, anytime someone leaks information about Lou, he doesn't hold that in high regard. So the likelihood that anything is known about that, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the Ranger beat, so who knows? Maybe here's the thing: as soon as Snow was gone, he had no more contacts for the Islanders. He had to leave. He had to leave this beat.
I was about to say, from the Islander side, he didn't get any of that information. He had no pull. Nobody has any pull regarding news and potential offers that came or come from the Islanders. Maybe he got something from Detroit or knows somebody on the inside there. Again, when you work in the industry long enough, you make connections. Ariel C said, I think it's time to move on from Beauvillier.
Don't worry. He's getting moved.
You know what a move from Beauvillier is going to look like? It's going to be a move from Beauvillier. And again, I think Beauvillier on a good team is a third line left wing. Nothing more. Don't ask Anthony Beauvillier to do more. Well, the issue is we've got another third line left wing and Anders Lee. And the other issue is we got another third line left wing and Zach Parise. Yeah, had him doing the right job, he'd be fine at it. He doesn't make an awful lot of money. Maybe a team's willing to risk a lot for Anthony Beauvillier, but when they say I'm looking to make trades, with the players that have value. We talked about it yesterday. Powerless play. Get it right, says George P. SP saying, guys, I'm at the game, but I'm not wearing my hat. So don't blame me if we lose. Well, here's the thing. SP, we're putting you on strict orders not to wear
no hats for the next 2 years.
That's right, Grumpy. Are we on delay? I feel like as I'm saying shit, you just interrupt me to say the thing I'm about to say. Oh, man, I agree with you, though. What, Grumpy?
Nothing. End of the first period?
Yes, end of the first period. Andrew L. saying, no matter how close Beauvillier is to the net, he still never puts it on target.
We have a lot of guys like that, don't we?
Oh,
a lot of players like that.
Mm-hmm. Drew L. saying, Barry Trotz and Lou Lamoriello combined with the Yankees free agency and Julius Randle with the Knicks made me meditate for the first time in years to stress detox.
Yeah. I mean, the Yankees to me, they're a disaster this year. They'll win their fair share of games, but they're so poorly constructed as a team. I don't even know what Josh Donaldson. When was the last time he was healthy? 5 years ago? Always hurt. He's in his mid-30s. I'm not saying Urshela was great. Sanchez sucks, but Josh Donaldson? What? Anthony Rizzo? What? Sorry. I don't get what they're doing.
And we'll pop up here on screen the Adam Pelech. Apparently, people are thinking this is a clean hit. I'm reading on social media. People are thinking this is a clean hit by Adam Pelech. I'm sorry. I don't know, guys. I mean, look at the point of contact. It's his freaking head. When you see a head like this, here's the thing. I never advocate to skate with your head down. But the unfortunate thing is players do that now because they don't have to worry. But a lot of people do not make hits like this because they're penalized.
That's right.
But when you see the first motion of a player who's going like this, they go, whoop, and their head goes skyrocketing backwards like they've gone on a freaking roller coaster. That's because the contact point was the head. I'm not complaining. We weren't penalized for it. That is a penalty in my book, though.
In today's NHL, I want to clarify. In today's NHL, that's a penalty. In, 10, 15 years ago, absolutely not. That's just open ice check.
I don't know how people are thinking that's not a penalty. It's a huge hit, but my God, contact with the head first.
Like I said, the Islander fans who are putting that up, if it was against one of your players, you'd be screaming that it's a penalty.
I was about to say, imagine that's Matt Barzal. Imagine that's Brock Nelson. Imagine that's Anders Lee, who just gets leveled like that and contact goes on the head first. Imagine that's they'd have to be huge in order to do that on Noah Dobson. But, just imagine it's one of our guys. He's skating with his head down, and the initial point of number one gets rocked, and the initial point of contact's the head. Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing, too, right? If Joseph, or I think that's Joseph who gets hit, if Joseph lays on the ice and is injured, Adam Pelech gets a game misconduct.
That's right.
But because he got up and reacted, there's no penalty. But if
Right.
that resulted in an injury, it'd be a game misconduct and possibly a suspension. I
Credit
don't
to
like how it's all based off of, hey, what's the end result? That determines whether it's a penalty on the ice.
and credit to Joseph. Big time credit to him. Because
Yeah.
you see so many of these guys, they get hit, they lay down there like they're dead until they get a call, and all of a sudden they get up. Or they have to be walked off the ice and they don't miss a shift. Please. I mean, credit to this kid. He got, you know what? He's an old-time hockey player. Good for him. I like him. I like him when he's in Tampa.
Mm.
So I take a kid like that on my team anytime.
Yeah. Just to show that up on screen. That being said, moving right along, ladies and gents. Andrell says, no matter how, I'm sorry. We got to get here. Ponyboy Curtis saying, hey, boys, love you. What's up, Ponyboy Curtis? The emergency trade deadline podcast was hilarious. I'm glad. I'm glad I brought you some. I was able to relax a little bit too last night. I was able to detox. I was like,
TJ was off the freaking rails yesterday.
I can see it coming. That's the sad thing. I could see it coming. You know how you call yourself Grumpsterdamus? There's certain things that just have that spice, that spidey tingle, and that spidey sense about. This is one of them.
But
I want you to decide. I said, you guys are way behind. I apologize.
That's goes to TJ.
I'll take blame for that. Joseph C saying, inexcusable. The Islanders didn't trade off any of their pieces, but I have to believe they'll be active in free agency this offseason because it's a new arena. Exciting for my Rangers, though.
I could see the Islanders going after Andrew Kopp, who the Rangers just traded for yesterday. He's unrestricted free agent. He's absolutely a player who would be good on our team. I like what I've seen in him. That was a good pickup by the Rangers. Don't think the Rangers picked up, I think, Kevin Braun, defenseman. I just don't think they're good enough yet. But Kopp was a good trade for them. Really good.
Yeah, they needed somebody like Ponyboy Curtis says, Grump, can you imitate fans gargling the sweat off of loose balls again? Did you really do that yesterday?
I don't remember if I did, but I know I said something about that. That's when I was talking about some of these websites who, whatever the Islanders do is great. Doesn't matter that if they blew up the stadium with the team in it. Hey, that's a good move. They need a little restructuring of the team.
If they blew up the arena, say, hey, if they can't tie it back to the arsonist, that's going to be a lot of positive revenue based off of the insurance policy they have. That means they could build an even better arena and field the best team in the history of hockey.
Anything they do, the team is right. I'm sorry. I can't. I've never bought into that ever.
I forgot you did that yesterday, Grumpy. My God. Sal P says, good evening, gentlemen. Always fun watching the game and listening to you guys. Thanks there, Sal. Look at Sal, by the way, with that fantastic shirt on. You could find that in the link in the description below. He's got his Maddie and the Jag shirt on. Grumpy, look at that shirt. Look at it.
I got on my Enemy of the Cartel shirt today.
Yes, you do, Grumpy. And look at that. Sal P's got his Maddie and the Jag shirt on. What do you think about Bavillier's play as of late? I really don't see much from him. I literally counted about 4 turnovers by him, and we're about 5 minutes in. He loses the puck every single time he tries to skate and stick handle by somebody.
You could say the same thing about his 2 line mates. They do the same thing. When that line is going well, Anthony Bavillier is playing well. He's a creator. He's the driver of that line. Any success that Anders Lee and Brock Nelson have had is because of Anthony Bavillier. And that's the one thing you have to think about. If you move Bavillier, who's a line driver? We had discussion last offseason, 2 off seasons ago. We have so few of those players that it's difficult when one of them disappears, because who else do you have? You could say Pajot was one, but he hasn't been this year.
Not to interrupt you, but Grumpy, can you flip your sweatshirt so it's not rubbing on there every time you move it? Thank you. That's perfect. Ponyboy Curtis also saying, it's okay, boys. We're getting Philip Forsberg. It's gonna be okay. Oh yeah, that's how they try to say it. Hey, every single time we always have these Christmas dreams of what's going to happen. It never happens. And it's like you're going downstairs expecting a Red Ryder BB gun, but instead of that, you get the freaking pop gun. Boop. You get nothing what you're expecting.
You get the bunny rabbit pajamas. That's what you get. That's what you wind up getting.
Or a freaking bowling ball.
The dad got the bowling ball.
I know, but I'm just saying it's about as useful as the bowling ball.
I'll play the game. How much money and years do you think you have to give Philip Forsberg to come here? I mean, that's going to be the big issue. Do you think Philip Forsberg is worth $10 million a year? He's not. He's absolutely not. That's what you'd probably have to pay him. Give him how many years can you give? 7? Is that the max?
You can give 7 years for an unrestricted free agent, but if they trade for him within that time period in order to go ahead and re-sign him, they could technically have the team control to give him the magic 8 years. So maybe they're going to have to trade capital away in order to get Philip Forsberg before, so they could go ahead and give him an 8-year contract. And what they're going to do maybe is give him $10 million per. But don't worry, guys, this is a great deal because the cap always raises. That's what you're going to hear. $10 million a year.
Do you want to know how bad it is? Do you want to know how bad it is right now? Lou Lamoriello is doing a first period interview with Shannon Hogan. That's how bad it is, and that's how unhappy fans are. She's doing a sit down with Lou Lamoriello.
Did he do a sit down last year at the NHL trade deadline?
He's never done a sit down. You never ever hear from him ever.
He's talking about the magical re-signings of Cal Clutterbuck and Zach Parise. How that's going to bring the man. We're seeing highlights from when he's scoring against the Chicago Blackhawks. When did we play the Chicago Blackhawks? Was that in January or December?
Well, that's what I said. I forget. I'm not going to get back into it because people get upset, but still.
Well, talk about it, right? This is happening during the game. Did I talk about it, Grump?
Okay. For me, Brock Nelson plays really, really well. Again, see, there you go. And that's what you do. You just said I could talk about it, and then I got to listen to your mouth. Here's the thing. He plays really well against really shitty teams. He's good against them. But in big moments, he disappears. That's my problem with Brock Nelson. He's a serviceable guy. He's certainly one of the better players on our team this year.
It's so certifiably untrue. We've done it. We've pulled up how many goals he has and against which teams. And that what you're saying right now is just not true.
It is true.
It's not true. 100%. And when I brought up the proof to prove you wrong, you just made up some other bullshit, and you go back to the same exact shit you're on again. That's 100%. Why I go every time, because
it's 100% true. It's 100% true. When the games mean something, he doesn't produce. When the games don't mean anything, he's good in those.
Let's aim away from us fighting Grumpy, and let's aim towards fighting the real villain of this story, Lou Lamoriello. I'm just kidding, of course.
Honestly, seriously, I think right now that Lou Lamoriello and Barry Trotz should be every single season. They should be fighting to get a contract renewal.
Okay. Well, we could say something like, I think every single year they should be signed to a 1-year extension, and every year based off of merit and performance, we should determine whether they get signed back. I know what you mean though, Grump.
Yeah. I think that that's just the way it is now. And Lou looks like a shriveled up carrot.
Why do you say he looks a little bit like those orange lilies in the background? Look at that. Man, oh man. I'll tell you, that bouquet looks like they're at a funeral. And you know what the funeral is? The New York Islanders. Yeah. The New York Islanders funeral is what that is. Lou Lamoriello is in all black tie, black suit, black belt, black pants, everything all black, black shoes, I'm sure. And he's attending the Islanders funeral.
I wonder if SP could tell us how many people are actually in the stands today. Because it looks like nobody's in the concourse right now.
But hey, everybody goes around. There's so many things to do in that UBS arena, so we can't really grasp how many fans there are because we're not there.
Okay.
That's what they tell us.
Okay.
David S says, I hope they lose every game the rest of the season. Maybe, just maybe, then there'll be changes.
No way. They're not going to do it. That's why they have to go. Because they're not capable or not willing to make changes. And I can understand from Lou Lamoriello's point of view. He's like 800 years old. And he's like, you know what? I only got a few years left. I don't have time for rebuild. Well, then you know what? Bring in an assistant GM, somebody young who's going to be with the team for, however long, and make sure that he's trained so that you can kick Lou upstairs.
Gotcha. Let's move along, Grumpy. Ponyboy Curtis also saying, can we start a band called the Josh Bailey Experiment, Grump? What do you anticipate would, what type of rockers do you expect in a Josh Bailey Experiment? First off, what type of genre of music would they play the Josh Bailey Experiment?
You remember the band Air Supply?
No.
I'm all out of love. I'm lonely without you. I really suck. I got no balls. My name is Josh Bailey.
I
Yes.
thought you were about to say, I thought it goes, I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Isn't that what I said?
You said I'm so lonely without you.
Well,
Holy shit. Holy
lonely.
shit, ladies and gentlemen. Did I just get a pop culture reference that Grumpy got wrong? Holy
Okay, here's
shit.
the thing. The fact that you know that tells me all you need to know about music. If that's your type of music, there you go. The fact that that's the music you know is scary.
All I want to say is that's on commercials.
Maybe
That's
they
why I
could
know
be
that.
maybe they could be the Little River Band. Sing Reminiscing.
Oh man. Dan L
Walking in
says
the park.
Dan L says, what a disgrace yesterday. I was furious, although part of me wonders why I should expect anything different. That's kind of the same way I'm in too, Dan. I was pissed off as all hell yesterday. I said, what has really given me a lot of hope about this team outside of the success in the Eastern Conference Finals? About every move they make leaves me questioning items. No need in rehashing everything you and most of your listeners have said. Yep, I agree, Dan. That's why we got it all out yesterday, so we could hopefully start slowly moving away from that pain, that freaking
Can you put the
gouging hole that's in our
Can you put the picture back up? There's my baby right there.
Grumpy.
He feels the pain.
Can you also flip your? Can you zip up your jacket maybe a little more? Because now we've got the mic on the outside portion. Can we hold on? Can
Shut up. I'll just do it like this, you pain in the ass.
I?
How's that better?
It's great. Now it's perfect, Grumpy. That's perfect.
Yeah. But look at my baby. He's just like, ugh. Lou Lamoriello doesn't make a move. Bang, head down. I could see why he's exasperated.
Emmanuel R says Lou staying pat means nothing. His Islanders legacy will be determined this summer. He needs to trade Bailey and sign a left defenseman. If he can trade Varlamov and use the space to add scoring, this team will be fine. Well, Emmanuel, I'll ask you this. He didn't trade Varlamov at the trade deadline, and Varlamov's value is going to be higher when you can help a team push for the playoffs now and help them have a goalie for the next year too. His value ideally in the offseason probably goes down. Marc-Andre Fleury got you a second, possibly a first, depending on, the conditions of what the team's able to do. They're not trading away Varlamov. That's not happening. Do you think they're going to trade? I mean, like, Emmanuel, what's going to happen? And what I fear, we talked about it yesterday. They're going to trade away picks. They're going to trade away prospects. They'll trade away a guy like Bavillier if he has value. They'll trade away a guy like Oliver Wahlstrom if they feel like he's not producing enough. And they're going to mortgage off pieces of the future and picks for a guy that's in his prime for the now. That's what they're going to do. And when you look at it, when they don't win a cup next year, after mortgaging off everything in the future, you're going to look at him as like a madman. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong.
They're not even going to make the playoffs next year. What do you mean not win the cup? They're not even making the playoffs next year. And here's the thing. He's not going to make moves.
He is going to make moves this offseason. They're going to be all the wrong ones.
Okay. You keep on saying that. I'm telling you he's not making a move.
He's made moves the last 3 off seasons.
No, he hasn't.
Hold on. Yes, he has. They traded away Devon Taves. That was a move. A very fucking bad move. They trade away Andrew Ladd's contract. That was a good move. I thought it was a good move. They get fleeced in a deal. They give away Nick Leddy. Think about this. They trade away Nick Leddy for a second-round pick. Nick Leddy performs like shit for the Red Wings. And the Blues get back in return an NHL defenseman, a second-round pick, and a prospect. How the fuck does that happen?
Because Steve Yzerman is a good GM. Lou Lamoriello isn't. He's just not anymore. He was good back in his day. He was good. He's 80 years old now. Imagine I'm terrible on the podcast now. Imagine when I be, when I'm 80. Come on.
I mean, do you remember Lou Holtz? I always look at it like this. You remember, I bring him up as an example. Lou Holtz. I mean, he always used to kind of, stutter over some words, but as he got older, got to a point. Is he still on ESPN? Does he still speak occasionally?
Yes.
I feel bad. It's like the same way I kind of feel about Butchie.
Lee Corso was the same way if you listen to him. You just hear the voice kind of cracking and stuff.
Same thing with Dick Vitale. Same thing with Dick Vitale.
That's what happens when you get older. It just does.
Yep.
Oh, and here's Barry. He's talking just for probably saying how great it is. The veterans been so good this year. It's the young guys who suck. That's why we're not performing.
Entertain Man says here, Trotz has a Bailey poster on his
It's E-Train Man. Not Entertain Man, E-Train Man.
I love how that's the shit you'll come at me on, but when you're speaking and get raspy at the end, that's no problem. But
The fact that you can't read is disturbing to me.
it's not a fucking word. It's not a word, Grumpy.
Yeah, but it's not Entertain Man.
Do you know?
It's E-Train Man.
Do you know those little puzzles?
You just added 3 letters to the beginning of that word. 3.
I said E-Tane Man. No, I excluded the R.
No, you said Entertain Man.
Entertain Man. Maybe I said that.
You did.
Man.
It's okay. E-Train Man.
Here's the thing. It's not a real fucking word for the 5th time. And when I see everything jumbled together on these usernames, sometimes I struggle if they're not real effing words. Sometimes it's something I struggle with.
You couldn't spell cat if I started you off with the C and the A.
Again, I'm trying to get to a point, but don't worry. It's no need for the point because
the second period is underway.
I'm with my freaking co-host. Anyway, yeah, the second period is underway. Grumpy old man. Isles 44 said the battle of the toilet bowl is tonight. Yep, absolutely. Oh God. Mario says Lou Lamoriello is to the Islanders what Putin is to Ukraine. My God.
Oh wow, that's strong.
Mario, that is a strong take. Alice 44 said, Ponyboy, we're not getting Forsberg. Why would he sign with an aging team who will miss the playoffs? I think he was just being sarcastic. He was joking around that was going to solve all our issues. That's Jer Ben, and I know him. Holy shit. Look at that huge hit. Jean-Gabriel Pageau just late. Oh, who missed that opportunity? Paul Mary missed the freaking net on a wide open opportunity and chance. I'm talking wide open.
I am glad that he has a full no trade clause in his contract as well.
How many more times is he going to miss point blank opportunities? Another great opportunity for him. And Anthony Bavilla gets a little shot off. And Ottawa, did they dump the puck? They iced the puck.
Icing. Yep.
The BK Italian kid says, horrible that I'm rooting for the L. You're not the only one.
Horrible, but I'm rooting for an L. He didn't say horrible that I'm rooting for an L. Horrible, but I'm rooting for an L.
Grumpy, it's a holy shit, huge hit. And that's a clean hit. That's a clean hit by Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Hits him in the shoulder, knocks him on his ass. All I'm saying is this, Grumpy. It means the same exact freaking thing. Okay? Okay, Grumpy. John A says here, Barzal has been pretty bad on the power play, except for that dish to Lee the other day. His ankle is still an issue, or he's a beaten down man.
I think he's a beaten down man.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't think he wants to be here. I said it earlier in the year. I'm going to say it again. I just think he's had enough. That's just the way I feel about it.
I think the Islanders have been the better team so far in the first 2 minutes of the second period.
Without a doubt.
Yep. Dan L said, I'm 36 years old and I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever going to see one.
That's a response to your callous statement that I will never be alive by the time they win a Stanley Cup.
Well, here's good news for you,
Chris. And then throw me out, then whipping out actuarial tables and tell me when I'm going to die.
Well, here you go. I was wrong. Maybe. Oh, good opportunity. Nice fight by Parise in front of the net. Well, Chris Smith says the average man lives till 76, TJ. Okay, Grumpy. So you've got more years than I thought. Maybe you will be able to see a cup towards the tail end.
Well, Lou and Barry have to be gone. Lou will probably be dead by then.
Lou will be 90. Lou will be 90 something years old.
Yeah, I don't see him living to be 100. If he lives to be 100, God bless him.
Oh man!
But most people don't live to be that old.
Yeah, no. The BK Italian kid says is there a reason why we still aren't playing the young guys?
Because they don't believe in the young players, and Barry and Lou just went double down on the old guys. There you go.
Man. Oh, here's a little opportunity. Oh, nice drop pass by Barzal to Wahlstrom. He buries it into the netminder. Does create opportunity. Wahlstrom unable to find the back of the net. That being said, yeah, we're not going to see the young guys. Them making those moves to re-sign back Cal Clutterbuck and Zach Parise show you what we're going to see the rest of the season. Young guys will not get the chance. I'll be shocked if we even see Robin Salo up with the Islanders at the end of the season. I wouldn't be. And here's the thing, right? If we're thinking about the Islanders next season, does Robin Salo have what it takes to be an everyday NHLer? No
Nope.
better way to find out than to give him opportunity and chance, but he's still in Bridgeport. And I don't see them taking Zdeno Chara or Andy Green out of the lineup. We're going to be 25 plus points out of the playoff race towards the end of the year. And we're still going to be rolling out this age veteran group and not seeing if one of the young guys in Bridgeport can actually contribute to the team next year.
I have a feeling they're going to re-sign one of those two guys back.
I do too. That's the sad part. I think we may re-sign back Zdeno Chara.
I do too. He said, Lamoriello said, well, yeah, we didn't get rid of Chara because, he's, teach Dobson so much. I'm like, okay, so you don't think you could have missed him for 20 games? You think that he's going to learn a lot more in 20 games? He's been playing by himself in that defensive pairing the whole year. Be nice to have a warm body on the other side. You know what he needs to learn? How to play with a live play and the live player on the other side. Maybe that would help his development.
Yeah, it means so much for his development. Okay, sure. Okay, I just you want to, Christ Almighty.
And I just they all say it the same way. Well, don't think that other players around the league aren't looking at the fact that Lou didn't trade any of these guys and they're people to him. They're not just commodities.
What the fuck are you talking about? That is the dumbest shit I've ever. Who the fuck said that dumb shit?
And supposedly an NHL executive said that.
Bullshit.
I'm like, I'm not lying to you.
Holy
and I'm
shit.
like, okay, so you want to? That's why the veterans like it here. They don't have to worry about losing their jobs. Well, gosh, you said you wanted to stay. Okay. Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky out of retirement. Yeah, I know you can't even stand on skates anymore, but you know what? We promised you'd be here the whole year.
Before you deviate too far away from what you said earlier, I want to bring that up. So, it means a lot. Do you think that means a lot for a 26 or 27-year-old? Do you think it means a lot, a guy who's in the prime of his career? Do you think he's worried about not playing?
Nope.
Being dealt? He doesn't give a shit. And here's the thing, right? It doesn't mean much because if they're starting not to perform, Lou Lamoriello's going to be long gone by then.
That's right.
Oh, it means so much. Who does it mean much for? It means much for the guys that are kind of towards the tail end. Oh,
That's
fantastic. Right. We appeal to guys 34, 35, 36, 37 years. We appeal to the Mark Giordano's. Fantastic. But guess what? Lou Lamoriello is not going to be the general manager of this team when he's 85, 86, 87. At least I hope not.
No, he won't be. He won't be.
Joseph C. said, curmudgeons live forever. Grumpy will be doing this podcast in 2050 with a smiley face.
Oh, man. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, man. Who?
I really don't think I even lived that long, to be honest with you.
Grumpy, you may never see an Islanders Cup then.
That puts me like right at 90 about, in my 90s. That's, I'll probably be talking like this.
Well, you know what would happen then, Grumpy? If in 2050, 30 years from now, or 28 years from now, we still have if 28 years from now we still have a podcast, you know what I'd be? I'd be the new grumpy old man. I'd be in my 28 years from now, I'd be in my 50s. I'd be so I'd be in my 50s and I'd be the grumpy old man, and we'd bring you on as a little guest, like a little 10-minute appearance, like, and the grumpy old man. Dun, 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 dun.
These would be the comments. Hey, Grumpy. Hope you live to the end of the podcast. Geez, remember when he had, it'd be like, oh, hey, you know what? Grumpy, this really meant something to him. I mean, just listen to him. It's like he's on his last legs. Nice to hear him for a week, for a day.
We've got to go all in. Grumpy needs to win a cup. We don't know if he can last another year.
And they wouldn't want to say, you know what, Grumpy, good job. Nope, just like, oh man, this is like the last thing you did before he died. It's like, oh, Grumpy, remember when?
Oh man, Tony Queso says TJ doesn't understand World War II references.
Yeah,
I do, Tony Queso. I do very well. I do. I understand. Drew L also says here, Grumpy, need that WADA. What is a WADA?
WADA.
Is that, I assume, like a reference to like, ooh?
No, because you keep on running your mouth saying, "Oh, Grumpy, get some water."
Oh, you did need some water early on in the podcast. You drink your grape drink all the time, and you didn't. Hold on, let me ask you this: Did you bring enough grape drink to the podcast, Grumpy?
I always do.
How many do you have over there? 2 or 1?
2. I always prep 2.
Sometimes you don't, and that's when I worry. That's when
I
I
always
worry.
prep 2.
Look at that. You see how much more articulate you sound when you get you wet the palate a bit, Grumpy. I understand. We talk a long time. Jarrell says, Jesus, Pellick just murdered that man. Ricky! And then, if anybody knows that movie reference, major props. Is that from Trailer Park Boys? I don't know. Ariel C said that was not a charge at all. I don't know.
Ooh, I mean, he had the puck, but it was shoulder to head.
Yeah. And then Chris Smith said, I don't think that was his head. I don't know. Again, I want you to decide. I disagree. I'm okay with that hit, but everything simmers down right down because of the boss.
Lost the boss.
Nobody wanted any heat. Andriel said, rewatch it. He didn't even make contact with his head.
Yeah, looked like it to me.
Yeah, keep your head up. Yeah, I was about to say, keep your head up is right. I here's the thing. I don't
absolutely right.
I don't think it should be a penalty in the game.
Should not.
But in the way the game's called today, that's always a call. And if he was laying on the ice with a concussion, Adam Pellick not only would have gotten a suspension for that game, but probably or gotten thrown out of the game, but also probably a suspension.
If it was Ross Johnston hitting that Ottawa player,
see you later, Ross.
He gets ejected.
He would immediately whoop, hand goes up. It just depends on who it is because it's Adam Pellick. Well, he's never had anything before.
Did you see DJ Smith, the coach of the Senators? He looks like he should be like a bartender running a bar in just an old Irish bar behind the counter.
He looks like the guy from Bar Rescue. He's got that freaking hair, the way it's spiked up like that. I know I'm not one to criticize hair. I'm standing on my last leg, but Jesus, he
he needs to have a bar towel.
Oh man,
in his like in his waistband.
And cleaning up all that shit in Ottawa. It did take him a long time. Shooter's puck
Oh,
hockey.
what a terrible pass. That's okay. We said, let's give it right back. And they say, no, take it back.
Ottawa's so bad. It's still 0-0, guys. And Ottawa's been bad. But I think we've been the more dominant team in the second period, as we should. This is the Ottawa freaking Senators. There's 11 minutes left in the period.
They are horrendous defensively.
They've given up 20 goals over the last 5 games.
Yeah, they're terrible. And how many do we have tonight? 0. I wonder how he's going to assess the forward group in today's game.
How did the forward group look today, Lou Lamoriello? How did it look? Barry Trotz, how did the forward groups look out there today?
We're going to make the assessment of the forward group. We've had the same guys for 4 years, but, we're going to make a real assessment this offseason. Please stop. Oh, my gosh. This game has really degenerated to just a turnover fest. One bad pass from each team, one after the other. Just terrible.
They gave up 5 goals to the holy shit. You want to know what's more depressing? Look at the last few games the Ottawa Senators have played over the last 5. They lost to the Chicago Blackhawks 6-3.
They've been scoring goals though.
They lost to the Arizona Coyotes 5-3. They lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-1. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers, the same team that we got dominated by, 3-1. And they lost to the Montreal Canadiens 5-1. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and it consists of bottom 10 team Chicago Blackhawks, bottom 5 team Arizona Coyotes, technically Columbus Blue Jackets are ahead of us. The Columbus Blue Jackets, middle of the road team.
All non-playoff teams, though.
All non-playoff teams. Bottom 10 team Philadelphia Flyers, bottom 5 team Montreal Canadiens.
Okay. And Philadelphia is also bottom 5.
No, they're not, are they?
Are they 6th? I mean,
I think they're right on the cusp. It's like 6 or 7.
I'm going to question your math on 20 goals in 5 games.
I read it somewhere, so maybe I fucked it up. I wouldn't doubt it.
Just give me the numbers again. 6 in the first one, 5 in the second. That's 11. Then 4. There's 15.
So 6, 11, 15. Flyers only scored 1, so 16. I'm sorry, it's a little bit more. 20. Unless one of them was an overtime win. No, none of them were. Okay, I did the math. Whatever. I read it wrong. I originally read it, so they've given up 21 goals, I guess.
That's pretty damn bad in 5 games. Ooh.
Yikes. 21 goals in the last 5 games.
Well, the good news for us is they don't score much either. So
Oh man, shooters puck hockey. How was the ice surface at UBS Arena? I'm not sure if you played your game there, but I wanted to follow up on that. If anyone else is baffled how Lou still believes in this group, I'll tell you. What screw the Islanders? I'm wearing my shooters jersey to the game Thursday. I'm sure fans are would much rather see us after the game.
So it's Thursday, after the game Thursday, which we're not even going to know about because you're going to be gone.
Monchusai says, geez, relax, CJ. Didn't even make contact with the head. Okay. Ottawa skater has his head down. Yeah, he did. Stacy M saying, clean hit, put his head down. He ducked down. He's allowed to check a guy on his shoulder if he has the puck. Just saying. I in the league today, it's not a big deal, right? Because I'm not sure they score on the power play anyway. My God.
Oh, look, she's got like that cool little emoji thing going on. It actually looks like her a little bit.
What? Oh,
the little
hold on.
emoji thing.
That's not her. That's Kim, and that's Michael M.
Okay, but Stacy is not.
Stacy's not the dog.
I didn't say Stacy was the dog. Maybe it's Michael's wife or mother. I don't know all the names. I know it's not Kim.
You said the emoji looks like her. She's not in the photo.
Look at the picture. Look at the picture.
She's not in the photo.
Oh, she's not in the photo. I can't see. Oh, that's Kim in the photo.
That's Kim. I said that's Kim in the photo, and that's
Never mind. Like Emily Latella. Do you know who that is? No, I didn't think so.
Look at that shit. You try to flippy flop that crap on me.
It was Gilda Radner had on Saturday Night Live a character called Emily Latella.
We'll have to let Kim know next time she's on the podcast that she looks like the emoji when he goes, what's going on? She looks a little bit like the emoji. I'll have to let her know. That'll be a funny one. Yeah. And I'll have to explain the situation to her. She'll probably get a kick out of it. Andrew said, TJ, take a chill pill. Watch the clip a few times. Didn't even make contact with his head. It was a clean hit, boys. Okay. Pajot does that with the holding the stick also. And don't forget about Josh Norris. The BK Italian kid says here, the fact that Lou had to have another interview to explain himself shows a horrible job. What a horrible job he did. Screwing up and explaining why you do it is still screwing up.
Absolutely. This is a guy you don't hear from ever. And he's come out and had to do 2 interviews in 2 days. That you know right there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you never hear from him. You never ever see him on TV. Unless maybe they catch him skulking around by the concession stand or something. They can't even get a shot of him when he's in the luxury box.
Lou Lamoriello, we have a question. We've got a question for you. What do you think about the team struggles this year? Oh, the Islanders. Oh,
I could care less about the team struggles.
That's a cross check. I got to still clip that. That's a cross check by Casey. Wow. Okay. Wow. That is the 8th minor penalty that Casey Cizikas has had in the last 8 games.
How come he's not getting benched for taking unnecessary penalties?
Who else could we play at center? Maybe Sarnak?
Anybody. Parise. They've done it. They've already done it this year. Brock Nelson, maybe he could pretend to be a center.
When Barzal doesn't do that, he doesn't hold the stick. He just bats it away with his hand.
Oh, that's not true. He holds that freaking stick. He absolutely holds his stick.
And I'm not complaining because he does a hell of a good job at it.
He is real. He holds it all the time.
Oop, and he just holds it off to the side. Every player, I feel like every player skates in. The McDavids, every single one of them who have really good puck control. They could say, I can handle this with one hand, my stick. I'm going to hold the other guy's stick at bay. And that's why they look like they're extra magicians. Jarrell said him and Dylan Larkin would be a nasty 1-2 punch talking about Matt Barzal.
Yeah. I tell you what, that trade intrigues me. You know what I wonder? Maybe they were trying to trade Nicoletti back to us for Matt Barzal. And I'll bet you Barry was twitching. Oh, yes, bring him back. How about this?
If you trade us Nicoletti and guarantee a vaccine, a full vaccinated Tyler Bertuzzi, we'll go ahead. Or I'm sorry, Tyler Bertuzzi will guarantee a trade. Remember, because Tyler Bertuzzi was the one rumored. Oh, wouldn't that be a cool scenario?
Okay. How about this? Nicoletti comes back to play for the Islanders next year on a 4-year extension. How about that? Who is this in the stands? Oh, this woman. No, I'm sorry. She's a little aged.
She's definitely dressed. She's got oven mitts on. She's got oven mitts and a and a flower in her hair.
Oh,
Grumpy, be
No.
nice. Be nice, Grumpy, about
I'm
fans.
being nice. I did. I didn't say anything. You say if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything. I didn't. I'm just like,
Holy shit. Well, here go Pajot.
Zachary say nice turnover.
Pajot just got checked.
That's okay, but Ottawa couldn't help but turn it over themselves.
Man, oh man, it's a turnover fest. You want to talk about ugly? Wow, the first power play Ottawa had, they didn't register a shot on that.
Yeah, they're terrible. I mean, they don't ever score.
Wow.
I hope that doesn't jinx us.
Don't jinx us. I was about to say, don't jinx us, Grump. My God, please.
They're
Don't
terrible.
Jinx us,
They are freaking terrible. Oh. They make us look good. That's how bad they are. Now that looked like a trip to me.
That is a trip. No, how is that not a trip?
I don't understand the officiating at all. It's like I just come down from another planet to figure out what the hell they're calling.
It's like I've gone into a different dimension where I haven't watched hockey in the last 20 years, and I'm like, what's a call and what's not now? Dan L says here that Heatley, Spezza, and Daniel Alfredson line was excellent. Those are the other pieces. Ottawa, as a consistently competitive franchise during the 2000s.
Yeah, really good. Up to like 2010s, even early. They were good. And then when they fell off, well,
they fell off a bit, but then I mean, like they had that one time they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they struggled for a year or two, and then they went full rebuild. That was back when Matt Duchene was there for a bit, I believe.
Yeah.
Apex Legends says it was a joke, but the ownership is to blame for allowing this crap.
Yeah.
They're a little bit to blame. But again,
it's hard. This game is hard to watch.
If you're not a fan of either of these two teams and you're saying I'm just a general hockey enthusiast, you would have turned this game off.
Okay.
You would have turned this game off in the first period.
Even if you are a fan of either one of these teams, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
My God, you're not kidding.
It's like this isn't even AHL quality stuff, right? This is like, gosh, I want to say the ECHL is even better.
No, come on, it's not that bad.
It's been a bad game. Come on.
You know what's going to happen? That looked like a trip. Chara tripped him right there in front of the net.
They're not calling penalties on Chara.
Yeah. You think Chara comes back another year, guys?
Yes.
At 45 years old, do you think he comes back?
If they don't bring Letty back, they bring back Chara. Remember, Letty's unrestricted at the end of the year.
Yep.
You don't think they're going to contact? You don't think they're going to contact his agent? I guarantee you, they. Oh my gosh, Nick Letty was so great 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Okay,
I could see them giving Nick Letty a contract. Holy shit!
Oh,
we have familiarity. We want to bring back a guy that we're familiar with. That's what we need to do too. We're going to bring back Nick Letty, and then we're going to trade for Jacob Chikrin.
A certain type of player. That's what Lamorello said. A certain type of player. We could use defense, but it has to be a certain type guy. What does that mean? A guy in his 50s? I don't even know. Why don't you expound on that, Lou?
A guy with a lot of experience and a guy they feel comfortable with. Maybe they'll.
Here's the follow-up question: what type of player are you talking about? Can you tell us the type of player? Some type of player with a special quality. What is it? Guy who plays himself in the shower? I mean, what does he have to do? Tell me.
When you mention a certain type of quality, what quality are you looking for, Lou Lamoriello? Or is that too much of an open-ended question? He's going to politic his way out of the answer. Oh, hold on. What's going on here?
Who knows? No one knows.
Lou Lamoriello live after the first intermission, boys. Yeah, my gosh. SP said, got it. I got a nice new fisherman's cap, so that should be fine until we're good again. Oh, yeah. Maybe the fisherman will be in again. Jewel says, Bathtub Jake is about to have some good content later after that Pellic hit. Yeah, he's the guy who likes Adam Pellic a lot. You're watching in slow motion. The entire hit was at a split second. His head was dropped down as by mistake. I don't think it was malicious intent, but I still think it was the contact was made up. Whoa, my God. Look at us in our defensive zone.
It doesn't matter what the intent is. It's the result. I mean, here's the thing. I could care less because I could care less of it didn't hurt us. So I'm all for it. I just know if it was Ross Johnson, that's a suspension. And you talk mad crap about him.
He's
all over every NHL network. Oh man, Matty B fell down again. Or was that Bailey?
It was Bailey.
Oh, it was Barzal. It was Barzal.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. When do you ever see him fall?
He looks good. Look at his hustle.
He doesn't want to be there. I'm telling you, he doesn't want to be there.
It's pretty obvious the hustle's not there for Matty B right now. Look at this. Oh, my God.
Nice to see them. Nice to see them put. Oh no, Matt's just on the ice for way too long. That's the reason. My gosh, he's looking. Oh my, he looks terrible. Sorry.
He looks awful today.
You know how much I like Matty B, but it's like, come on, he's just floating right now. It was a long shift for him, but still.
Yeah. I'm worried.
Nice way to freeze that puck there, Andy Green.
I tell you, David D saying, "Hey guys, I saw the interview with Shannon and Lou. It sounds like Lou's is gonna be keeping the whole team together going into next season. God help us. What he's going to do? He's going to keep everything together, but he's just going to mortgage pieces off and add more because he's not going to stand pat. I think he's going to try to add more pieces, throw good after bad.
Okay, how many more pieces you think he's going to add? One, two,
one or two. Well, I think he's going to pay an ultimate price though. That's what I worry about, the price. Oh, holy shit. Who goes sliding into the freaking net this time?
Do you want to know who pays the ultimate price? The fans.
Yep.
Because they have to watch this debacle.
Yep. Oh, Scott Mayfield. Oh, my God. Mayfield wants hitting boards. That was a good play by the forward there. He does a good job, 21 for the Ottawa Senators, avoiding the check by
Come on, Ross. I want Ross to score so bad.
Ross is, look at this, man. The effort.
He falls.
Oh, how many guys are falling on the ice today?
Falling down. It's like they're walking on ice without their blades.
4 minutes to go in the second period, and there have been 7 shots total registered by both teams. 5 shots for the Islanders, 2 shots for the Ottawa Senators. Is there anybody saying, "Wow, we look fantastic out here on the ice"? Not me. Oh,
right.
shit.
Isn't this a far cry with how he played for those 7 or 8 games 3 weeks before the deadline? Just saying.
Do we look the same? Hold on. Are we tired? Did we play yesterday and I didn't know about it, guys? Remember, that was the excuse of why we looked shitty against the Flyers.
Oh, my God. That was close.
Oh, they hit off the crossbar, I think.
Look at this. I mean, it's like everyone's grappling with one another.
Jesus Christ.
Man, these two teams suck. I'm sorry. We are going to be so bad next year. It's not even funny.
Oh, man.
We're going to be so bad.
We're only 19 points out of a playoff spot, Grumpy. We could still make the damn playoffs. Don't doubt this team. Don't sleep on this team. Oh, holy shit. Whoa! We get an opportunity to put one in the net. Can't cash in. Looks like now we're getting a few shots on net. Look at that. Holy shit. What a bad offsides. I want to see that replay again that was in tight on Varlamov. I'm not sure if he caught a piece of that or they just hit off the crossbar. Nonetheless, I think that was the best opportunity to score so far this year. The Islanders had 2 chances on their power play early on. They just couldn't execute. Wow. Jewel said, "I like Brian Cashman, but I'm sports certain executives are past their expiration date. He's been past it since 2017. He won us 5 World Series, but that is a time ago."
I often say if the old man was still alive, being George Steinbrenner, he'd been long gone. Aaron Boone, first of all, he never even hired Aaron Boone. Sorry. You're too much of a wuss to be manager of the Yankees. He sucks as a manager. I'm sorry. I don't know how he managed to slither another year out of his job. I thought for certain he was gone after last year. But nope, he was back. And Cashman, what's he done? Terrible.
Want you to decide says, wrong. I'm not screaming about that against my team, but you don't know how I feel about hitting. You take that a little personally. Yeah, you don't just call a penalty because it looked like there was a hit to the head. Okay. Chris Smith saying here, the kids are playing between the intermission. Those are always fun.
And actually, I saw a little bit of them. They look better than the Senators and the Islanders out there.
You always love the kids. Like there's a few of them that are like, and again, like they're always like the local like rec teams or whatever. And they're always like, there's 1 or 2 kids that are just so much better than everybody else out there. And all the other kids just look like there
is no one at any of these establishments. The Heineken Red Star Bar. It's like
Heineken. Who wants Heineken?
They're singing your song.
Oh man, I'll tell you. If someone can give me the report about how again, it is a Tuesday evening game.
See, Matty, it's like something like he caught his skate in a rut.
Matt Barzal hasn't looked good today. Oh, fuck, I'm worried. I'm worried he's not happy. John M. saying grumpy, bad week. Auburn shits the bed. The Islanders shit the bed in another way. Yeah.
True.
John, thoughts with you. Man, oh man. Watch this. I said he didn't even go to the back room, which is mandatory now for head hits. A snooze fest here through the first period. Hoping it's getting more excited for the second, says SP. John A says Coop has a good strong arm. Move to get Strome to shit or get off the pot. He's definitely not a number 2 center.
Yeah, it was a strong arm move to get Ryan Strome to resign. Boy, how has Ryan Strome turned out for, since he left here? I remember his first year, he was really good. And then
we played him in the second line, and then we played him on the third line. It's crazy when you when you determine what opportunities a guy's going to have, it determines their point production.
It's the same thing. He's a top 6 player, and you want to play him in a bottom 6 role, you're never going to get the results because it's not his skill set. We see it here all the time with this iteration of the Islanders. Same thing.
Oh, man. Bailey almost gets that pass off.
Look at this. Sloppy is being generous to how this game's been played.
By both teams.
Yes. Not just Ottawa or the Islanders, both. I think actually we looked pretty good to start the period, and I thought our power plays looked okay, but overall just sloppy.
Yeah.
That nice. No one else even moves. I don't know. It's like 1-on-4. Where's everybody else? Nice pass by Wahlstrom.
You're ahead of me. Oh, nice blocker save against the Zach Parise shot. Nice feed by Oliver Wahlstrom. But again, you got one guy who doesn't put the puck in the net, so it doesn't go down in the on the stat sheet despite a good play by Wahlstrom.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Has it been the worst overall game that we've seen this year? I know we've had quite a few of them, but
I don't know.
Oh, look at this.
Big save.
Again, it's like just sloppy.
Man, I don't know, Grumpy. I thought that game where we lost and got shut out against Seattle, that was a bad one. I'm not sure this is as bad, but
did Seattle play well a little bit that game? For overall play, it's just been terrible.
That was right before the NHL All-Star game. We looked miserable.
Oh yeah. What was the excuse why we lost that one?
I don't know, Grump. I couldn't tell you. I know there are. Anyway, Grump. What?
Well, Chara and Kachuk. Kachuk loses a stick.
Well, looks like the end of the second period. Christ almighty. Okay, Grumpy. You're freaking like 4 or 5 seconds ahead of me. So when I hear you go, oh, was that on a high stick? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Wow. End of the second period. 0-0. Islanders, Ottawa Senators. Oof. This is one of the games I feel like surely we would have won.
I think we're still going to win this game. You don't think we're going to win this game?
I don't know. It's anybody's game right now.
Yeah, I know it's nothing, but I mean, for overall, I think we've outplayed. If you could actually say that, we've outsucked the Senators. That much I will say.
Man, that was Chara late getting to the man who was streaking across a prime opportunity to score. But
very late.
Good job by Varlamov on the save. He's looked good today. He hasn't really been asked to do much, but when he has been asked, I think he's stepped up in a big way. Again, the problem has never been goaltending for this team this year. It's not been the issue.
Looks like part 2 of the Shannon Liu interview coming up next.
Are you shitting me? They couldn't fit all that into one little portion?
I'm telling you, how bad is it when they have to send the old man out to calm down, to tell him, put the pitchforks down. Put the torches out.
Wow.
What do you think Ledecky's thinking now? He's always a guy who wants to have his pulse on what the fans are thinking. They're unhappy, John. They're really unhappy. You're unhappy with your general manager.
He doesn't pull any of the strings. He's the goofy guy that says, "Let's go team." The guy who's pulling all the strings is Malkin. He's the guy with all the equity in the team. I know they have that joint venture, but it's all Malkin.
Hey, Scott, guess what? We're in trouble. You know what it reminds me of? Rocky 3, when Rocky's going to have the exhibition against Hulk Hogan. And he says, hey, how about after the match? We take a little Polaroid here. He's like, you're in trouble, man. And he just shoves him back into the corner. He's like, that's what I feel like now. That's what I feel like.
Jarrell says, TJ, the grumpy old man is now the grumpy old gargler. Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Gargler sweat. Anthony R. said, tell him, Grump. I can't understand all the hate for Beauvillier. Everybody else gets a pass about getting traded. It seems like everybody's number one Islander to trade is him. I want him here. He's not the problem.
The reason is because he's one of the guys who does not have a no trade clause of any way, shape, or form. He's someone that other teams would value, and he's 24 years old and has the opportunity to get better. That's why everyone says him. They never say any of the veterans because they have no value. They all are on no trade clauses, and they all suck.
Yep. That's I could not agree more. And here's the thing, right? They think, okay, Anthony Beauvillier. They had ideas of what Anthony Beauvillier could be. Everybody had an idea of, he could be a bona fide top 6 forward. And they notice he's not. He's a guy who's a top 9 guy, ideally third line left wing. And they see that and they say, well, maybe another team is dumb enough to think that he's a top 6 forward for them. I don't know. Maybe he could for a team that's more geared towards his style. On this team.
Absolutely. Another guy who doesn't fit what this coach likes to play.
David D says Forsberg wants $9 million at least for 7 years. Maybe we'll trade for Philip Forsberg before the NHL draft so we can give him the 8th year that he needs in order to make a deal work. $9 million a year for 8 years.
They're not doing that. They will not trade for Forsberg to have that exclusive window. They will not do that.
John M saying, I'll just reminisce and revisit the days of the Polish prince and Ziggy. I told my 14-year-old son, you will become to know that era well.
See, I remember even way back longer than that.
BK says, me and my son live listening to you guys. Thanks, BK. If you like this, number one, make sure you're subscribed. And also check out the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show. It's like this, except even better. We talk everything sports. And again, anything, it's more of a free-wielding podcast. That could be found in the link in the description below, or it can be found on our YouTube channel as a linked page. So you can go ahead and check out everything that myself and the Grumpy Old Man say about sports in general. That's more of the free-wielding, crazy type of environment. Again, I'll show you. It can be found in the link in the description below or as a featured YouTube channel.
There's Lou, the old carrot. He looks like the Simpsons' granddad. Hi, it's me, Lou Lamoriello.
You said something really interesting yesterday, talking to the rest of media about the year. What is it about the phrase buyers and sellers? Why don't you like it, Lou? Why don't you? Oh, wow, what a tough question. Why don't you like being labeled as a buyer or a seller? Well, the reason for that is that I think the words are disrespectful to the player and the organization that would be put into a situation because maybe where the team is at, that it would be part of somebody buying them and also somebody selling them. Holy shit. What platitudes, what broad platitudes can he throw out and politic his way through the answer of? My freaking God.
Hold on. It looks like Lou's got dirt on the top of his head.
Those are sunspots, buddy.
No, he's got sunspots too, but he's got like a I don't know, looks like a metal spike, a black metal spike in the top of his head. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's a sunspot.
No, the black thing is not a sunspot. I know it's he's had sunspots.
Oh, hold on. They're asking about the schedule and COVID and the obstacles that this team has had to overcome between the coaching staff, the core of this, the veteran leadership from the core, and maybe other teams didn't have that. Would you be completely off the rails? Well, I think there's no question that the most important thing that we did that we did have is the type of group that we've got as a coaching staff, the maturity and the experience in all of them, individually and collectively.
Jesus
And as far as our players, the maturity that they have, but they've shown the resilience over the few years ago through the bubble and going from one situation to another.
I can't listen to it anymore. Stop. Read the ad. Just stop. I cannot listen to that drivel anymore. I mean, here's the thing. Lou came in. Yeah, Shannon. Yeah, we're having problems, with public relations. So here are the questions you're going to ask me. Lou, what's your favorite color? Black, navy blue. Oh, come on. I will watch it after, but I'm like, I can't listen. I read what he said, and I'm like, I'm sorry. They don't even talk to him during the NHL draft, which is basically an infomercial for every team. He doesn't talk.
Oh man, he's asking right now about the trades. What do you think that means? What we can improve in our goaltending, in my opinion. I think that at defense and forwards, you can always improve. So he just said we can improve everywhere on the fucking team.
He didn't say goaltending.
He just said that right now.
Oh my God.
I think I can improve in goaltending, and we can always improve on forwards and defensemen. So you said we can improve the entire fucking team.
You know what else you can improve in? Here's the thing that we could really improve. GM and coach. You can really improve with those things.
Let's save that for tomorrow. That will give us a whole fun discussion.
Just read the ad because I want to get to the comments.
Today's sponsor is DraftKings. The NHL season has been packed with 30 dangles, hat tricks, and big wins. Unfortunately, not a lot of those for the New York Islanders. As the action rolls on, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, has your shot to win big too. New customers can bet just $1 on any NHL team and get $150 and free bets if they win. That's right, a bump in the win column for your team means free bets for you. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you still have a shot to light the lamp, and everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Hockey Contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and bet just $1 on any NHL team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Must be 21 years older. Restrictions apply. See the show notes and the description for additional details.
Wonderful. Okay, back to the comments.
Oh man, that is a long interview. I cannot wait. I'm salivating at the mouth. At the mouth to listen to that.
Here's the thing. They know. The natives are restless. They're outside the castle with the pitchforks and the torches.
They're about to
burn the beast out. Kill the beast.
About to storm
the beast.
Vinny L says Comatose Lou will get fleeced and overpay for Forsberg. Ariel C said, "What's the problem with throwing $9 million at Forsberg? He's a bona fide sniper, and then trading Bavillier and a deal for a top 4 defenseman. Don't you guys want a sniper?" Ariel, the only thing I worry about with Philip Forsberg is a guy has never averaged a point a game in his career as an NHLer. And this year, and again, I think he's a really good forward. I do. But this year he's having a career season and a contract year that always gives me pause for question. Be dubious of it. Why all of a sudden now is he lighting the world on fire?
I'm a little different from TJ. I like Philip Forsberg.
I do too. I think he's good.
I advocated for trading for him last year. My problem now with going after free agents, particularly high-priced free agents, is this team's really on a serious downside now. The fact that you didn't make any adjustments to try to get the team younger and have a bridge means that in a year or two, all you're going to have is Barzell, hopefully, Forsberg, and some defensemen. That's it. Because all these guys are going to age out and you have nothing to backfill. That's why I'm like, you know what? We're not good enough. He's not going to put us over the top. And by the time we are good enough, he's going to be in his mid-30s as well. That's an issue for me.
Holy shit. I don't disagree. And here's the thing. Lou Lamoriello just said, we owe it to this group. We owe it to this group to help try to field the best team out there on the ice, company. He said it. He said it again. I can't wait.
Oh my God. You owe nothing to the group. You owe absolutely nothing to the players. They
You
get their
owe everything
paycheck.
to the fans.
Thank you very
That's
much.
who you work for, not the players, the fans, the people who put money into this team, the people who spend their dollars buying merchandise like this, buying things like this, buying everything for the team because they love this team. You owe everything to the fans. You owe nothing to the players. Nothing.
Ownership and the fans. That's who you owe it to. That's who you work for, not the players. Guess what? When you're giving players who way past their peak, who are not going to age well, ridiculous contracts,
We owe it to them.
with no trade clauses, and you won't move a guy because, I made a promise. You pay them. That's what you owe them. You owe them nothing else. Just what they get paid.
I'm saying don't treat them like shit, obviously.
Yes.
You owe more to the fans and ownership than you owe to the players.
I just
hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what? They kind of get sloughed a little bit underneath the fans and the coach because you pay them millions of dollars and they understand what's involved. They're professional fucking athletes.
Well,
anyway, moving on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Grump. One more comment.
When we're back to being a bottom 5 team in a couple of years, then he'll be gone. He'll be gone and Trotz will be gone. That's what's going to happen. They'll both be gone, and the fans are the ones who are going to have to suffer again.
I cannot wait to listen because guess what? As soon as this podcast ends, Grumpy and I are going to have a little fun listen session. We cannot wait. Paulo C says here, isn't Bavillier, age 24, our best left winger going forward? If yes, why does everybody want to trade him? So you guys want to keep left wings like Anders Lee? Well, he can't be moved. And Parise, both too old. I don't think I would put you guys as general manager. Well, Paula, we've screwed ourselves over so hard because we cannot move Anders Lee, and Zach Parise doesn't have much value, and he's actually played well for the contract he's on. But Matt Martin doesn't have value. The only left winger we can move that has any sort of value is Bavillier. So that's why everybody throws his name out there. He hasn't performed what people had expected, so they say, trade away Bavillier.
Yeah, for me, it's not about wanting to trade Anthony Bavillier, but what pieces do they have that are able to be moved? Brock Nelson's able to be moved, but they won't do it.
Hey, he's shooting 20% this year, and that's sustainable for next year.
I don't care. Like I said, he's having a career year this year. He's over 30. I mean, those are not building block guys. Anthony Bavillier is, absolutely. I'm just saying, what other team in the league wants any of the players that we're able to trade? That's what the exercise was, Paolo.
And then Anthony R says here, can we keep a few players under 24 on this team instead of wanting to deal them for overrated defensemen and 30-year-old ringers, such as the guy from St. Louis who will, by the way, be a free agent in 2023, talking about Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, I was for Tarasenko because his price was so cheap last offseason.
I'm not for him now.
Yeah, no, not now because he's only got 1 year left.
The price is a lot higher too. It's
That's
all
right.
about if you could get a bargain, right? If the trade value was true of what we were being told, that would give me reason to believe that was a fantastic deal for us to take. The trade value on a guy like Vladdy Tarasenko is unbelievable.
Now it's not worth it. But last offseason, when he's got the shoulder issue, I said I roll the dice with the shoulder issue. Absolutely. I mean, a second round pick in like Samuel Bolduc, you wouldn't have made that move. I would have made that. I'd make that today.
Drew L says, oh my God, Lou just said that Cal Clutterbuck is a bottom 6 forward that can be moved up at any point. He can play top 6 anytime.
God.
SP said, Ratu finished the season with 41 points in 47 games with 3 points today. Yep. Too bad our center position is locked up for the next 5 years with a bunch of 30-year-olds, so he'll never play.
It just gets worse and worse.
And Drew L says here, Lou Lamoriello is dressed black on black on black on black on black.
You know what? This is what he wanted to do. He was hoping he had a lot of people watching today. He was going to put on his sunglasses. Hey, just look at this little wand. And, like in Men in Black, boop, it blanks everybody's memory out. You're not going to remember the trade deadline. You're just going to know that we're going to have a shot next year with this team. That's what he said. Remember that in Men in Black?
Mm-hmm.
Just stare into this little light over here.
Wipe the memory. Watch this. I says, TJ, stop with their all around concourse sarcasm. You always keep saying no one is pretending the Islanders attendance is good anymore. They're selling decent seats for $18. The reason I'm doing that is, again, how does it affect ownership when they see the money's not in their pocket? And people were calling us, and guess what? They don't say it now. The reason I keep bringing that up, though, is just to remind. It's the same reason why I bring up that 3 months ago, people were saying throw Noah Dobson in a trade for Jacob Chikrin as an additional piece. Just throw in Noah Dobson. It's to show you that when people say these dumb, moronic statements, that we've always stayed with that point and always will. We could stop, but the reason I do that is to say we've always stayed with that point. We stay true to what we believe, and we're not going to deviate away from what we see.
TJ was saying right from the beginning, why are no one in the seats?
People call me crazy. Oh, you don't understand. You weren't there. How many guests did we have on the show say you haven't been there? A lot of attraction to. I said, terrific. I believe you. I don't think they have a reason to lie to us.
I look at the TV and it's like, unless they have seating capacity of 15 in the lower bowl, there's a lot of empty seats. Like I said, there's a lot of fans disguised as empty seats in that stadium. But here's the thing, from purely a business standpoint, as an owner, man, we just sunk like $1 billion plus into this arena, and no one's going because the product and the ice is so bad. And then you have your GM doubling down on this product where no one is going to see. I'm just like, what? I don't understand.
Christmas, a grumpy old man. You can't say that they won't make the playoffs next year. You don't know that. I was about to say they could do I don't know what they're going to do.
I'm going to tell you what, Chris. I feel confident. I'll say 90% that they don't make the playoffs next year.
If you look at our past off seasons as a parameter of what this off season could be, do you feel if you were going to Vegas, you saying I'm putting $100 down on the Islanders to make the playoffs or not to make the playoffs? Would you put to or against? Right now, I'm putting the Islanders not to make the playoffs. Maybe you feel more confident. I would say, right, even if you're close to fit, it's kind of scary when you even think to yourself, it's a 50-50 chance that we could make or not make the playoffs next year. That's not too confident to be coming in with right now, I don't think. Anthony R says, Nelson's in the playoffs in 2019, 2020, 22 games, 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points, second leading scorer. In 2020, 2021, 19 games played, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 total points.
How do you do against Tampa?
Okay, moving on. Okay. David S. said here, I hope Shannon kicks Lou Lamoriello in the groin. Trotz loves Bailey and the veterans as much as I love TV, video games, sports, and anime.
David D says, likes that a lot.
Yep. David D says, you're grumpy old man. You're great. You hold back no punches about our Islanders. You don't drink any of the Kool-Aid, and you don't make any excuses.
True. I don't believe in excuses. And it's like everything's an excuse. I'm like, what?
I texted my uncle. Oh, another uncle. Ooh, the uncles usually on this show would usually get a bad rep. Yeah, they do. They are trouble.
They know what the hell they're talking about most of the time.
He said that the deadline was no big deal and that we can wait till the summer to make deals. Thoughts? Of course, I disagree, but
typical uncle. They're wrong every time.
No need to start.
They're batting 1,000. They're wrong every time.
The third period is underway, ladies and gentlemen. The battle of the Islanders and Ottawa Senators is back underway.
The question is, how could you tell the third period started from the commercials? It looks like they're exactly the same. No entertainment value at all.
Here's what I'm interested in looking at. I mean, do you think first goal wins?
I think only goal wins. Maybe goes to shootout.
I was about to say maybe this goes as a 0-0 tie into overtime. And it'll get split up by overtime. And then people complain that shootout is not a good parameter to determine a real winner. We complain about that a lot because we lose a lot of the shootouts.
You remember
if you're winning shootouts, people wouldn't complain.
Okay, this is their number one goalie. We haven't played him this year. We played whatever, that Gustafsson character. This is Forsberg, he's their best goalie. They just signed him to a 3-year extension.
Anton Forsberg, yeah.
They thought he might be on the move, but they signed him with a very manageable 3-year contract.
He's 29 years old too, so not extremely old. I mean, he's a guy that's in the prime of his career for goalies. Yeah,
$3.5 million per, $3 million per. Our backup makes $5 million. Our backup.
I was
I
talking
know.
yesterday in a space, and Phil's facts, and people were calling me crazy to say if Braden Holtby would accept a deal for 3 years, 3.5 million per, that we'd be crazy to take him up on that offer. I said I would take a jump at that. I don't think he wants to be the backup, but if Braden Holtby would be okay being the backup, signing him for 3 years, 3.5 million per would be fantastic.
Wallstrom missed a point blank shot there.
You're way ahead of me.
Dude, I don't know what I'm not stopping. I can't be 5 minutes behind in a game. Shut your shit off, bring it back up, and then we'll match
You
up.
don't understand. It doesn't actually fucking move it forward, Grump. You're going to have to hit pause. No, it's not how that works. It's not how it works. I know you don't stream anything. That's not how it works for me.
You'll just have to overcome and adapt.
Grumpy. What time are you at right now?
18:07.
Okay, you are solid now. 10 seconds ahead of me.
Oh, sorry. That's on you. Guess what? My TV doesn't have stop time or whatever the hell you have.
Hit pause, damn it. Hit pause, grumpy old man. So we're on the same freaking bit.
Like I said, the third period's over already. Waiting for TJ to catch up. Get a fucking television, okay? What a save by the goalie. That was fantastic.
Okay. Oh, man.
Let me know when, Islanders lost 2 days ago. We're still watching that game.
Holy shit. He started throwing his hands up thinking that was in the net. Oh, my God. He saved it with a fucking stick. Oh, man. Jesus. Okay. I'm at 17, 54, 53, 52, 51.
Close enough.
Where are you?
Doesn't matter.
Are you ahead of me again, damn it?
I'm not going to be behind you. Like I said, when my TV says, "Oh, this program is over," sorry, watch something else.
It's not over, you bastard.
Because TJ, we don't operate on TJ time.
Oh, good gracious. Paulo C said, why don't we trade Lee, Nelson, Palmieri, Bailey, Varlamov, all 30-plus years old? And don't tell me we can't trade Lee, because if Lou asked him which teams he would like to get traded to, everything is possible.
That's what I say, and TJ just shoots my ass down. Everybody who comes on the show says, "You're wrong. He's got a no-trade clause." I said, if you approach him and say, guess what? We're in full rebuild right now. We want you. We love you so much that we want to give you a chance to play for a winner.
Stop!
You have to approach him. You have to approach him.
You're gonna make a blood vessel. You're gonna make one of my blood vessels.
That's why TJ's a failure as a general manager. Just a flat out failure.
I'm not a failure. I don't get no trade clauses.
He's too scared to even ask the question. Not me.
I'm not too scared to ask the question.
Guess what, Anders?
General manager had to ask it, and guess what? He'd take about 5 minutes in that conversation. He said, "Leave me alone. Kick freaking rocks."
Okay, no problem. You're going to be riding the bus in Bridgeport for the rest of your career. We don't want you on the big team. We'll pay your salary. You're going to sit down on the freaking bench.
You're done. We've got comments to roll through, and you just had to get that insane. Yeah. You do every day.
I'll ask the question.
I'll
ask the question. I gave him the answer.
Oh my God! No, he did. Oh, where is the fucking question in this? Why don't we
trade these guys? And don't say we can't make the league cause. Lou asked him and which teams he'd like to be traded to. That's what he said.
Oh, man.
If you actually, I don't know. First of all, you can't read names. You butcher everything. And then you actually read something out. You said that's not part of the question when that was exactly the question. I'm not afraid to answer the questions.
David D said, not scoring more than 2 goals against the Senators tonight says all about being the lowest scoring team in the NHL. Yep. Oof. The Rangers were up 2-0 and just gave up 5 straight goals to the Devils, and now we're down 5-2.
How many goals did we score on the Rangers? 2?
I don't even recall. I think we won 2-1.
Yeah, 2. And I
don't know who's in net for the Rangers, though. That's worth saying.
That's true. Might be Georgiev.
I was about to say, if it's, oh my God, it's 7-4. So I'm saying a goalie was probably pulled in all likelihood. Yeah, Shesterkin actually got shelled. Okay. Well, there it is, right? I mean, Georgiev's not doing much better. Shesterkin, 5 goals against on 24 shots. Well, it's crazy how he's returning back down to earth a bit. You can't continue to have a fantastic year. It'd be the greatest, one of the greatest seasons in the history of hockey for netminder. It's not going to happen. And then Andriel said, is it bad that I'm 19 years old and questioning if I'll ever see a cup and the Mets will a World Series? I feel more confident about the Mets. I think the Mets will make it to a World Series sooner than the Islanders have a chance to win the cup.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. Steve Cohen's the owner now. He's not afraid to spend money. The Wilpons wouldn't spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This guy's not afraid to spend money. I like the makeup of their team, honestly. I love the signings. not just the big signings, but some of the other ones, the little like Escobar. I love him. I think he's going to really put big dividends for the Mets. I'm really rooting for the Mets this year.
Eduardo Escobar, yeah. Paulo C says here, you guys still don't get it at this point. Where we stand, we're not even a playoff team. At best, we're a team that barely makes the playoffs, but not much more. So why are we keeping the 30-year-old forwards? Yep, that's why I didn't get it.
No, I absolutely do get it, Paolo.
No. I think he's talking about the fans.
Oh, the fans.
Not talking about us. We've never said that, Grump. So I assume he's talking about the fans.
Okay.
David D says, just wait. Joshua Bailey's number will be retired and go up into the rafters as the longest tenured Islander.
My God.
Got to keep in the game 1,000. Nick D says here, hey, Grumpy, did you know enough fiber today? You looked a little constipated. Did you get enough fiber today, Grumpy?
Plenty. Thank you.
The movie reference was from Boys in the Hood.
Boys
I
in
don't
the
watch
Hood.
movies. Oh.
Okay, that was a movie that was almost, it's got to be 30 years old now.
The Islanders are playing Ottawa tonight, Nick. Mookie Betzer saying, hey guys, congrats on having over 500 subs. Love the podcast. You should invite the guy from the Belmont bunch as a guest. People keep saying it. We got to do that. Here's the thing. Once I get back from vacation, I can actually have guests back on. The reason we kind of stopped is we had the deadline and we were kind of waiting on that. And after I'm back, we're going to start getting some guests back on because I need to hear other opinions. I need to hear people that are going to be more gleeful and cheery, and I hope they kind of change my outlook. Maybe at least a little bit.
TJ won't let me talk to people, try to get them as guests because usually I end up telling them that they suck, and I don't even know who the hell they are. Not on my radar.
Grumpy, why don't you go? If you could find us some guests, be more than happy to have them on the show. More than happy.
I scare them off because I'm too tough.
Okay, well, that seems like a you issue, not a me issue. David D says, our Islanders mirrored many years of the movie Slapshot.
Man, Slapshot's a great hockey movie. Just great.
Just watched the Lou Lamoriello interview. He should be living on the beach in Florida somewhere. Oh, God. Can't wait.
Somebody with sand covered up on the top of his head. Oh, my God. They're terrible. It's
like with Mr. Magoo with the freaking hot dog on the beach. With a little hat that covered up the ball spot. Trust me, I gotta wear the hat at the beach too. Lou Lamoriello, I'm right there with you. Want you to decide said I agree that if Ross Johnson threw that hit, he'd be ejected, and it would be bullshit call because it wasn't bad. He just overreacted to open ice hits nowadays. Yeah, they do, but
everyone does.
I think
that was just a check. That was just a check.
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago. That's just a check.
That was a keep your head up, buddy.
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Rangers, Caps, and Columbus are all losing right now, so I'm sure we'll lose this one too.
No, I mean, it doesn't matter what they do. We're not catching them. We're 400 points behind the Rangers and the Capitals.
I'll tell you, Matt Barzal, he just looks unhappy. Let's see here. 10 minutes. Man, we got 10 minutes remaining here in the third period, and
it's 11:20. It's 11:23. Are we like a minute and a half behind in the action? Matty B. Oh, over the top of the net.
Oh, no, it was a save. Anton Forsberg got a hand on that. Holy shit. We've had opportunities and chances. We haven't been able to convert. Kyle Palmieri hitting the post. Oliver Walsh from getting stopped point blank. The save there on Matt Barzal. I'm pretty sure that Forsberg got a piece of that with his glove. I think that was an excellent save.
Matt Barzal has a little countdown thing. And it's like
that was a save by Forsberg, by the way. I thought it was
nice.
An excellent save.
And it's like July 7th, 2023. Or 2024. That's when he's an unrestricted free agent. He's got a little countdown. Every day he counts it.
Speaking of hits, you know what we're missing? The nice old hip check leading into an opposing player doing a somersault landing on his back.
Yeah.
That was fun hockey.
Yeah. That was Kasperitis, Potvin. Man, they were really good at that.
I miss hip checks.
Me too.
Fantastic.
I miss the physicality of hockey.
Mm-hmm. You and me both, Grumpy. You and me both. James F. What's up, James? Hey guys, I didn't know you were on tonight. Yeah, we're covering the game, especially since I'll be out. Won't be doing any live game coverage when I'm out.
Or whatever this is that we're watching today.
Oh, wow. Anders Lee slips and falls. Let's see here. Yeah. Looks like we're putting or tiling up the pressure a bit.
Scott Mayfield.
Oh, Mayfield with a goal. A broken play. Mayfield scores a goal. Anders Lee gets an assist for that.
I just find it funny.
Assist,
I just find it funny. Our great, however many dollar wingers we had there, none of them could put the puck in that. The defenseman has to come down to score. What have you seen from the wingers that say any of them worth anything today?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
And Brock Nelson and Anders Lee get an assist. Holy shit. It was a shitty shot that bounces off the defenseman that leads to a wide open opportunity because they don't mark the man. That's a good job by Mayfield.
That's right. Jumping down to the play. Like I said, when your offense is predicated on defensemen crashing the crease, you don't have any offense.
Yep.
And we'll win today. That'll be it. It'll be 1-0.
1-0 win, guys. Woohoo! Offensive fire, offensive damn fire, or offensive fire, Grumpy. See it all over the place. Drell says here, there have been plenty of people in the federal penitentiary more visible than Lou Lamoriello. Nick D said, Invisibility is doing a great job. We just don't hear or see him at all. Letty for 4 years, says Chris Smith. Andrew L said, it was free oven mitt night at UBS Arena. Okay, that's
oven
what
mitt. Oven mitt. An oven mitt.
I'd take a free oven mitt.
You know what? Not me.
An
oven mitt. A freaking oven mitt?
My God, Ottawa. Holy shit.
Lee. Oh, no, it's Palmieri. F minus.
Ottawa's bad, man.
They are. They're terrible. I told you, they're terrible.
They're the worst.
To me, their goalie's been number one star tonight, regardless of who wins, honestly.
I think Forsberg has done a lot to keep them in the game. How many breakaway opportunities has he stopped? Point blank opportunities. Forsberg's had a hell of a game today.
Yeah, he's been really good. My God, they're terrible. Hard watching. Honestly, it's hard watching them. If you're an Ottawa fan, do you just wait a couple of years before you put the TV back on again?
Hopefully next year's better.
No, I mean a few years. Not next year either.
They're going to make some big moves in the offseason. I heard Ottawa is poised to sign Philip Forsberg to a 7-year deal. They've got so much cap money they could throw at him.
Fans keep on talking about Philip Forsberg. I haven't heard the Islanders ever talk about him.
It's all speculation.
Yeah.
All of it is. John A says, I say Lou takes a look. I look at trading for Kevin Fiala. He's a restricted free agent. I doubt Minnesota will be able to afford re-signing him.
There's no way Lou Lamoriello is going to sign anyone who's a restricted free agent to an offer sheet. That's just not going to happen.
Chris Smith said here, this is a turnover fest. You're right.
It's been terrible. I think this is the worst overall game for both teams. God, Pellick overskates the puck. Oh my God, it's just brutal. It's been brutal.
SB said here.
Anyone who had to pay, even $8 for a seat is too much for this game.
The concessions are where they really get you. That's the real portion where you're like, yikes.
That's what's even most embarrassing. You figure you pay, to watch a game. No, you're just paying for concessions. Like a movie theater. They can give the tickets away free. It's all about concessions.
Mm-hmm. Tony Case is saying, you think the officials really care about this insignificant game? They're trying to get home to their family.
I think so too.
Chris Smith said sloppy hockey. Yeah, and Want You to Decide said agreed. Game is pretty awful.
Brutal.
The Islanders will be bad for the next 6+ years, thanks to Lou.
I can see, honestly, seriously, before we're good again, I see at least 5 years. At least 5.
Drew L says the hustle's just not there for Matty B. Are you talking about Barzal or Matty Braps? I'm not sure who Matty Braps is. Michael T says here, good evening, gentlemen. Good to see the both of you. What's up, Michael T? How are you? Want You to Decide said they finally put Wallstrom with Barzal when Barzal seems disinterested.
Yeah. I think he's given up. I think he's just not the same guy. I just think he's just unhappy here.
Nick D saying,
seriously, if a guy's unhappy, time to move on.
We got a lot of comments to blast through in a short time to get there. Nick D said, I don't blame Barzal at all. I'd give up too, knowing that my manager did nothing to improve the scoring on this team.
True.
Holy shit. Oh, man. I just read a tweet that Andrew Gross said. Michael T said, Chara and Green won't be here next year. Agree or disagree?
I think one of them will be back.
I agree.
I just have a feeling. What's the Andrew Gross tweet?
He said Nelson and Lee get the assist on Mayfield's goal. Nelson and Lee have 50 goals combined, but with the twin assists, it gives them just 22 combined helpers.
Ridiculous. Like I said, they're garbage men, both of them.
Michael T says, these are the two teams that don't care if the season's over. For both of them, this game is a meaningless poop. And
True.
Barzal should not be putting in great effort. He's riding out the season, looking towards next year.
He's got 2 more years in jail before he's freed for early parole. Maybe he'll get early parole, but right now it's not happening. That's a nice shot by Mayfield.
That's fantastic shot.
That was top. That was like that other goal he scored in the playoffs last year. That man right over the top shoulder.
I'm telling you, Mayfield would have gotten you a fucking haul. I promise you he would have. People say, well, Mayfield's not talented enough offensively. He gives you glimmers of shit like that where he'll score a goal with a fantastic shot. No goalie in the league stopping where that's placed.
No.
None. Not a single one of them. I mean, that way, my God.
I mean, Forsberg had great positioning on that play. That's the only spot to beat him.
Yep. James F saying here, guys, this game goes on like this, boring. I'm gonna watch insane pools. I could see the Islanders losing this game 1-0. Well, this is an earlier comment. They're gonna win 1-0. Woohoo! Michael T said this season is essentially over. Nothing to be dramatic about. Come on. Here's the thing: the season's over. It is, but the players don't give up. And the reason I say this, I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Players fight. Generally speaking, players fight for their livelihood. They always put out maximum effort. There's no
this team,
player. They want to make sure they have their next paycheck coming.
They don't have to worry about this team, though, because they're guaranteed spots. That's why we're not as good as we can be.
Michael T also said, I have to pick a team to root for in the playoffs once again.
Who are you rooting for in the playoffs, TJ? I guess we can talk about that as we get closer.
I was about to say, I think it's going to be more, I'm going to be open. I'm just going to kind of root for the team that kind of attracts me the most, a team that I feel like maybe is getting screwed over and a team that looks special on the ice. So I don't have a particular team that I have like an affinity to. If Detroit was in the playoffs, I'd root for them. But I don't know who. Maybe I'm rooting for Colorado. I want to see Devon Taves do well. Here's the thing. It's going to sound like blasphemy. Maybe I want to root for Toronto a bit to at least win a series. I don't know. Maybe I want to see them win a series. I feel bad for that fan base. You want to talk about a glutton for pain, right? We've been miserable for years. Toronto has, felt like they've been such a contender every single year, and they haven't won a playoff series in like a decade and a half, 2 decades?
Long time.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe I'm rooting for them to win a series. I'm not rooting for them to win the cup, but, I'd like to see them win a series, whoever they play. Do
you remember what I always say that I respect the most?
What's that?
Excellence, right?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Tampa. I want to see if they can win 3 in a row after losing a whole lot off their team, going through COVID. Let's see if Tampa can do it again. I think it would be a wonderful achievement. Either them or Carolina. That's like my.
I would like to see Carolina maybe win too, because people call them a paper tiger. Oh, they're not that good. I've been hearing that shit. I was dead wrong when I thought they were gonna be on the decline. I'm not afraid to admit it, but it seems like some fans are out there saying, "Oh, paper tiger, not that great." I'd like to see Carolina do okay. I don't want to see them get rolled in the first round.
They're not going to get rolled.
Okay. Christopher C said, it's sad that the Islanders fan base is so divided on so many issues. Yeah.
Well, we have the people who don't open their eyes, and then we have us.
Well, I look at it like this. People are divided on the issues. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants a cup. People are just at different points as to what they think is the quickest way to get a cup. My God, Ottawa's so fucking bad. They're so bad. Oh, my goodness. Ottawa's so bad. Holy shit. I'm sorry. Michael T says, I'm watching a Weather Channel. There's more action with the tornadoes going on in the Islanders game.
It's terrible.
Hey, Malkin. Houston, we've got a problem. Jeffy saying, how's Wallstrom been with Barzal? Everybody want him with Barzal. Lots of points racking up there, eh? LOL.
He doesn't get much ice time, first of all.
He gets like 10, 12 minutes a night. He plays no power play minutes.
And Matt Barzal is disinterested. We talked about it earlier in the season. It's obvious. He's a guy you can tell. He's not somebody who can loaf and get away with it like Anders Lee. When he's not playing hard, it's noticeable.
Here's the other thing, too. Oliver Wahlstrom's had a few chances today, right? Had the point-blank opportunity stopped by a fantastic save. Maybe he should have got the puck up more. I thought it was just a fantastic save and close. He had the opportunity fed to Parise, who put a shot on net, but Forsberg made a good save, right? I mean, like those opportunities, right? If a guy cashes in, oh, there's an assist, there's a goal. Everybody's singing a different tune. Plays 0 power play minutes in the last 9 games. I don't know. You know, you're talking about, hey, how are we putting and positioning our players for success? Playing him 0 power play minutes and playing him 10 to 12 minutes a night or 13 minutes a night isn't enough.
How does Josh Bailey get power play time and not Oliver Wahlstrom?
Couldn't
I
tell you.
can't even. It honestly is mind boggling.
Michael T says, who cares if we win or lose this freaking game? I hope we lose.
The more we lose, the better draft position we have, and it'll make it even worse to pick some fourth line grinder who's projected to go in the 3rd round to pick him in the top 10.
Stop. John A says here, Lou looks like Mr. Beaky, the buzzard.
The buzzard.
Beaky the Buzzard from the Looney Tunes cartoons. Oh, man. Beaky the Buzzard. It's a weird thing that I actually know who Beaky the Buzzard is.
It's weird that you know who anything is.
Beaky the freaking Buzzard. Oh, man. He does. He looks exactly like Beaky the Buzzard. Give me a sec. I'll pull up that picture, Grump, if you stall long enough.
So you're going to put Lou next to Beaky the Buzzard?
I will try my best.
I mean, you know, particularly like in the Undertaker's outfit that he was wearing. That should be interesting. But I just, I mean, is this what we can expect for the next year and a half, 2 years? Because I just have a feeling that's what it is. Here's the thing. Oh, yeah, well, we carried the action. Did we really look good today? And let's not forget
Let's be honest. Did we look good today? Be honest, guys.
And we're playing like the 2nd or 3rd worst team in the league.
Bottom 5 team in the NHL.
I mean, and this is how we look. I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't see how anyone could say, oh, you know what? We're on the upside. It's just not correct. I mean, we've gone right back. Oh, there's Lou. He does look like Beaky the Buzzard. Holy shit.
He looks dead ass like Beaky the Buzzard. I saw.
Beaky's got more hair on top.
John, this is perfect. The 2 strands of hair.
Yeah,
oh, man.
That was John, like that. Lou had that one black thing sticking out the top of the head. I don't know what the hell it was. Maybe it was a used fork. I don't know what the hell it was.
John, that's right on, man.
Beaky the Buzzard.
That is Beaky the freaking Buzzard. I love it. I love it. That's perfect.
Beaky.
Now the exclusive interview part 2. Why? Because Lou thinks it disrespected. It's disrespectful to the players. Such a great guy. Oh yeah, I heard that a bit. Mario says here, Lou Lamoriello is more like Mr. Burns, Smithers. The team sucks, Mr. Burns. Excellent.
Excellent.
And then
you got to say it with the voice.
I didn't watch a lot of The Simpsons, so I didn't know the voice.
Oh, geez, you don't even know The Simpsons.
No, I said I know he's from the. My God, Ottawa. Palmieri and Parise will turn it around next year.
Turn what around?
Yeah, I was about to say.
They're invisible the whole year. You expect them as they get older to get better. Palmieri is maybe the worst trade no, he's made some bad ones. Taves is probably the worst, but second has to be Palmieri. Think about all the chances Palmieri gets and just no production.
We were shit talking here, Oliver Wahlstrom. How has he looked with Matt Barzal? How has anybody? We can say that about every damn player on our team.
Oh, right through the crease.
Whoa, that is a good opportunity, right? Paulo C said, TJ, Beverly is only 24 years old. Relax, have patience. He's not even in the prime yet. He still needs to play with younger players. We got to get rid of these old geezers.
I think Paulo's misunderstanding what we were talking about.
And these are also older comments, Grum. We're still like 30 minutes behind. That's why I was trying to move quick. Goon says here, I'm opting to listen to you, both of you fine gents, than listening to what Lou Lamoriello has to say. Well, I just love it that he has. Ooh, wow. He got smothered. Go to the dirty areas.
Jesus, the guy gets the puck and he kicks it out of the zone.
Oh, man.
My God, they're bad. They're bad.
Jesus, they're bad is right. Are they going to pull the goalie? Wonder how long it is before they pull.
Why?
They think they can win.
Just go home. Just get it back on the bus. Get on the plane back to Ottawa. Go back into quarantine for 6 months, whatever the hell they make you do up there. Average Anders just scored on the rebound.
Garbage man.
Another garbage
another
man
one
goal.
in point blank. The
Just-
garbage man. Oh, looky there. And Forsberg's like, I can't catch a fucking break right now. Been standing on my head. My defense crumbles around me. I play for the fucking Ottawa Senators. Oh, look at that. And Phil's Facts just said 24 goals for Anders Lee.
I don't give a shit.
I said, is he going to get, he's gonna get
Sucks.
30 goals this year? He's shooting over fucking 20% this year. People are expecting that to improve.
The first one came right to him, and he just totally flubbed it. Look at it here. Just totally off the end of his stick. And it comes back off of Ottawa guy, and he puts it in.
Looky there.
Right here. Look, here's the pass right to him, and he just bumbles it, and it bounces right back to him. He's good at what he does. That's all that he does, though.
He sucks. He's such an average guy. I don't know. I've come around the way you're already thinking he's so fucking average. It's unbelievable. Brett W saying here, I'm so angry about Lou mismanaging this team. I can't wait for baseball.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Ottawa's going to pull the goalie. Oh, it's going to give us a 3-point win, even though it's been 0-0 for the majority of the game. It's going to make it look like we're dominant. We had a 3-point victory over the Ottawa Senators.
3-goal victory. But look who's going to be out there. Come on, Chara. Come on. Is an empty net? Because I
don't know yet.
Okay, because you know what? I'd like to, if anybody's a scorer, I want to be Chara. You watch all those goal hangers and stat stuffers go out there at the end. Up 2 goals. That's a Brock Nelson or Anders Lee type goal right there.
I can't listen to him for fear that my ear would get cancer. Oh God.
Oh shit.
Jesus, man. That's Matt Barzal went to the room. I wonder if he was benched or is he hurt?
Maybe just quit, says screw it. I'm not playing for this team anymore.
My gosh. Ottawa's net is officially empty.
There's an empty net. Let's make sure we get Bailey, Nelson, Lee, get all those guys out there.
Michael T says 2 good things that came out of the season: UBS Arena and Sorokin's save of the year.
True.
Ooh. I don't know, man.
Looks like he hurt his wrist.
I don't even know. I'm thinking Matt Barzal's. I think Matt Barzal. Oh, damn it.
He's not gutting it out. He's not going to gut it out. That's
nope. The guy who's he's a blood, sweat, and tears type of guy.
When you've sucked the life out of Matt Barzal, that's on the coach. That's on the coach. Sorry. And we know that he hates the coach. We know he does. We've heard it.
Anti-censorship society here. Sorokin is playing like the best goalie in the game right now. Pathetic that we can't score against such a bad team as Ottawa. Yeah, Sorokin's playing well. Varlamov's played well tonight too. Again,
he's had nothing to do.
We haven't asked him to do much, is what I was about to say. But the limited times we have, he's done well.
He said that they haven't had any high danger scoring chances at all. Not at all. How many shots do they have on this game? Do you have any idea?
Couldn't tell. I'll pull it up here. Maybe like 20, 24. 25. I don't imagine a lot.
I don't even know.
Empty net time.
Oh, there's Parise. He'll get one. There's Parise. Woo! Look at how great he is. He's dividends on the new contract already.
Hey, here's the thing. Brock Nelson has had 2 assists tonight, Grumpy.
An empty net goal assist.
It all counts the same in the
he's another empty stat guy, just like Bailey. They're all the same. All 3 of them are the same.
Grumpy's butt spasming. Oh, I tell you, Johnny Hockey. I'd rather have Johnny Hockey. Why people are concerned about Philip Forsberg when all he's doing is pulling a Jean-Gabriel Pageau. Eddie Smith. He also said no excuses. We're moving forward. What the hell is that? A bold-faced lie, Eddie. That's what it sounds like to me.
He's lying.
No excuses. I'll reserve judgment. I'll listen to what he has to say, but I bet you he says no excuses. But and a list.
I loved how they. We're not going to make any excuses about our schedule.
Or maybe Shannon asked the question and she'll give him the laundry list of excuses and say, what do you think about that? And he'll say, I have no excuses. To put it in your mind that, hey, there are excuses that we can use, but Lou Lamoriello uses no excuses.
He's so magnanimous that he would never use an excuse, even though everything that is said is everything that they say to him is fed to them by the organization. They're not allowed to ask tough questions in this organization. Ask Billy Jaffe how that worked out.
Michael T says, I'm rooting for the Flames in the playoffs and the Dallas Stars if they can make it. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Canadian team win a Stanley Cup.
We can only wish Lou and Barry to leave. Phil S says, rest assured, everyone, Lou doesn't like the word confidence. We're in good hands.
Oh, my God. You know what he also doesn't like? He doesn't like the word Stanley Cup championship either. You'll never hear him say that.
Christopher C said, hey, TJ, on your journey, see if you can ask some Brits if they could come to the Islanders to convert some Brits to Islander fans. That's going to be a tough ask right now with the way they're playing, but I'll have to go ahead and get my missionary. I'll have to go ahead and put like a missionary effort on, like, please support the New York Islanders in their quest to
Alms for the poor.
Let's go. Jeffy said the seats are sold out, but the New Yorkers don't want to go because it takes hours plus to get to UBS. So the money in their pockets, even if the seats are empty, or if you go for $18, why would you go to a game to where they're playing like this and out of it and have to fight that traffic?
I understand that.
I'm not blaming them. Just saying there's no seats, empty seats. Nick D said, do you know if Forsberg liked playing for Barry? No idea. And if they didn't, why would he come here?
He's not coming here. He's not coming here. No one's coming here. You realize this franchise has never signed a top-level free agent. Never. Never. Andrew Ladd is the biggest name free agent you ever signed. And he was finished when he got here at 31.
When Grumpy thinks he owns TJ in an argument, he always does a WWE screaming, yeah! And he gets me every time. John A says the opposite of Lou Loyalty Lamarillo is Kelly Machine Gun McCrimmon, the Vegas general manager. Guy doesn't give two shits, treats the Flowers like dirt, doesn't even acknowledge Dadanoff's no trade list.
Yeah. Who would you rather have, though, honestly?
What the hell do we need Braden Holtby for? No, we were in the hypothetical we were talking about yesterday. I asked, a question. I said, why not trade him? And they said, well, the backup market is so scarce. And that's what they were saying. I said, I trusted Pierre Greco, Mitch Korn. We went down that little avenue. They said, would you really be excited if we signed Braden Holtby on a 3-year, $3.5 million a year contract? I said, I'd jump all over that. We already know that he can perform with Mitch Korn and Pierre Greco as his goalie coach, i.e. look at what he did with the Washington Capitals. If he would be down and on board to be a backup, and they said, oh, I wouldn't want to sign Braden Holtby to be a backup for $3.5 million a year.
How the hell did Anders Lee get a star of the game today?
Because he scored a goal, Grumpy. And he had an assist. He had an assist and a goal. Holy shit, you guys are an hour behind on the comments. Yeah, you know what? I blame myself for that.
You should.
Jeff, I take personal blame. I take responsibility. I take responsibility for that. But we were watching an Islander game, and we had a lot to talk about. I had an ad to read, so it's easy to get behind. But I take full responsibility for this. Dan L says here, Grumpy, TJ, don't worry. We have a great room. We dare not break it up. That will definitely help us win more games and give this cast of characters more talent. Only release of anger and frustration for me is making fun of this backward logic that seems to reign supreme right now in this organization.
Here's the thing. Deep down, Lou knows. He knows. Barry knows. They asked him, what about, a contract extension for Trotz? And he's like, we'll talk about that another time. You know what that tells me? He's not getting a contract extension. That's what it says to me. He's not getting a contract extension. So Barry Trotz will be gone. It's funny. His contract expires at the same time as Matt Barzal. If they're keeping Barzal, Trotz is gone. Guaranteed.
James F. saying, Grumpy, I'll be your guest. Jeff S. saying, still can't believe some of the fans thinking this team needs another chance. Terrible coming back with the same bottom forwards such as Martin, Clutterbuck, Bailey, and Parise. Can't have all of them on one team. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Michael T says, it's going to be funny watching the Rangers not get far this year in the playoffs as the Islanders did in the last 2 years.
Well, that's true. They're not going anywhere.
Jeff,
but who would you rather be? Honestly, who would you rather be? Would you rather be the Rangers or the Islanders? We talked about it 2 years ago.
The Rangers.
And then we talked about it right then. I'd rather be the Rangers where they were 2 years ago than what the Islanders were.
People were hesitant to agree with us. I'd
They
rather
were
be the
ripping the shit
Rangers.
out of us. Ripping the shit out of us. I said, "You watch."
You're secret Ranger fans.
Mhm.
The
That's
Islanders are
right.
fantastic. And we said, I'm kind of looking over a 5 or a 10-year span, not a 1-year window.
I was looking like it 2 years. I said in 2 years, and that's what it was, 2 years. I didn't honestly, I thought I overshot. I thought it'd be 3, but it's been 2 years, and they're just vastly superior to us.
Jeff S. saying at this point, it's better to lose for a better draft pick. Then we get the draft pick. But Trotz, as a coach, holds talent back from developing.
True.
Yeah, I tell you, that Mayfield goal. Isn't this interesting? The day after the deadline and everyone is safe, we play a freaking pathetic game against one of the worst teams at home.
That's the way we played against Philadelphia too. And Lou said, yeah, a couple of, for the last couple of days, we knew we weren't going to do anything. The team knows that, and they just took their foot off the gas. They all want to stay here because it's so great to play for the Islanders. No responsibility, laissez-faire attitude. That's why you get what you get.
Jeffy, that's 100% right. That's the same goal that Mayfield scored in Game 6 up over the left shoulder.
Yep.
Fantastic shot. Dan L saying here, I understand the sentiment, but a bad 5-year, $5 million per year contract is easier to overcome versus a bad 7 or 8 year contract at $9 million per.
Now, he'd be a better player, talking about Forsberg than Lee is. He's going to age much better, but still, you're adding that type of contract and player to a guy when the team's just going to be in the shitter, and it's just not worth it.
When does the MLB season start?
I think April 7th. Maybe a little later than that.
Oh, man, I hope not. I wanted to get a freaking, God damn it. Starts in April 7th. Damn it.
I told
wanted to get a damn league going, but I've been busy. We've been busy with everything we've been doing, Grumpy.
How long is put the league together? Put a league together? 5 minutes?
Okay. We got to also do it. Good old Scotty May. Get Al's girl back on the podcast. We will. We are going to get Al's girl back on the podcast. Love Kim.
I love Al's girl. She's great.
Mayfield is also a lot better defenseman than we think. I think he's underrated.
He's a really good defenseman. We like him, and he's a really great bottom pairing guy.
Jeffy said chicken tenders with fries and a huge Heineken Saturday. So like an 18-ounce Heineken was $35.
Wow.
My God. Man. Oh, hey guys, if Johnny Boychuk didn't get that eye injury, would he still be playing for us?
Absolutely. Well, I think his contract expired this year. He absolutely would have still been playing for us. Absolutely.
Vinny Smith saying, imagine if Lou didn't put the offense on notice. LOL, classic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen to that. Wallstrom looks so lost every game. I don't know. I disagree.
Yeah, I thought he comes out with jump to start the game, and then Parise's been invisible too, right? You didn't see anything of Parise.
Parise had a goal today. How dare you? Doesn't matter if it's an empty net. That's a fantastic performance.
He's been invisible. Let's be honest.
Concessions and parking. Don't forget about the parking. Oh yeah, says Michael T. Oof. There's some wishful thinking. Maybe Minnesota goes far in the playoffs since they've got Fleury.
Maybe.
Lou looks like the pedophile from Family Guy. That's also a good one. Hey, TJ, how dare you go for Toronto? It's a cardinal sin in Canada outside of the province of Ontario to root for them to win a playoff series. I just kind of feel bad for the fans. I do. It's like if I was a neutral fan and I didn't like care for the Islanders at all, when they made the playoffs, I'd root for them. If I didn't have my team wasn't in because they just don't win very often, they would have been miserable for years. When Lou first got here, I'd root for him. Mr. B says, with the right management, the 2024-2025 Islanders can be in great position to make a solid play for free agent Austin Matthews. Feel free to follow my newly created Twitter account, 34 Matthews 2 USA. If anybody has a pic of Matthews in an Islanders jersey, please send it to me. Thanks. We look just a hair better than the Flyers game. Yeah, that's not good.
And here's the thing. If Ottawa was any better than, one of the bottom 3 or 4 teams in the league, they would have beat us today.
Michael T says, I'll root for Florida in the playoffs from the East. Not a bad team to root for either.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
I'm rooting for a lot of Game 7s, a lot of interesting hockey. That's all I'm rooting for.
Florida's got to watch out for Boston, though, because I think Tampa will beat Toronto. Actually, I think now Boston is ahead of Toronto. I don't know if Toronto's got a game in hand, but they're so close. Those three teams within like a point of one another. Florida will win division, but man, who wouldn't love to have a second round series, Florida against Tampa? Holy shit. Because that first round series last year was phenomenal.
Why am I cheering? Why am I cheering for Ottawa to tie this game up? Oh, man. Bill B says average, soon to be 30 goal scorer Lee. Bill, I'm going to put you like this. Stands in front of the net.
He might score 30. He might score 30 goals this year. He might. And then people say how great he is. Then move him. If he has that much value, move his ass.
Oh, wait a second. He'll have 30 goals and like 15 assists.
30 goals and 2 assists.
Of 30 goals and 15 assists. So he'll finish up a guy who's got a point every other game.
Making $7 million a year.
Playing on the first line.
For another 5 years.
Playing the first power play unit and playing on the first line. Yikes. What do you guys think about Anson Carter's play-by-play? Pretty good, right? I love Anson Carter. I love him.
He has a good voice. It's like you're like an easy chair listening to him. Really good voice.
I love Anson Carter. I love him. Oh, we got a nice gash by the skate blade.
Ooh.
Ooh. Anti-Censorship Society says here, I'm all Penguins in the first round. Sad season.
I think you'll see the Penguins beat the Rangers.
My mama done told me get something for dinner. LOL. I'm not sure. Is that like a TV thing?
I don't know. My mama told me you better shop around.
SP said the Islanders have a unique ability to make a 3-0 win more boring to watch than paint dry.
True.
What's up, Matthew S? How are ya? And Ariel C said here, oh yeah, for Mayfield 3rd star, Lee 2nd star, Varley 1st star. Ariel C said Forsberg hasn't played with anybody like Matt Barzal, that caliber of playmaker. They both would be a point per game player, and Forsberg will score at least 30 playing with Matt Barzal.
I just don't see him wanting to come here. That's all. And remember, he can make more money going to a Florida team with their tax structure by taking a lesser contract in Florida than he would with the Islanders. The taxes are murder. If he's just looking for money. If he's looking for a title contender, there's no way he's coming here.
Good win. I know we're still trying to reel in from the last, or I know we're still trying to heal from the last 2 days. Barzal is actually a restricted free agent. Yeah, he's a restricted free agent. Then he becomes unrestricted.
After next year. He's got one more year in his contract. Then he's got 1 year restricted free agency left. And then he's unrestricted.
Yep.
You'll know next year in the offseason or during the season if Matt Barzal will be back. It won't go to the last year.
Danielle said, Grump, you have continued to state we don't sign free agents. I agree 100%. If we get rid of Trotz, do you think if we get a legit coach or do we get some no name? Throughout our history, we seem to get guys with no name.
Yeah, we didn't have any money then either. We're not going to get rid of Trotz, though. That's not happening. So you're going to see same old this offseason. I feel very confident in that. Will they get rid of him after next year? Next year is the one that really matters.
Paulo C says, Lee, 10 goals in the last 9 games with 4 power play goals.
Yeah, he's been hot.
I love it. Ariel C says, I want on the pod, boys. Well, I got to write down. I got to write everything down. I can promise you, I'm going to forget all this. I'm going to go away and have vacation brain. I'm going to forget everything.
What do you mean? You don't want Ariel on the podcast?
No, I just need to write shit down. I don't have I got to write stuff down. Otherwise, I promise you, I will forget it as I'm on the way on my trip.
Yeah.
Not on purpose. I'm just telling you, I will forget
it. We can do, we're going to be doing the call-in shows eventually too.
Yeah, I know. But again, I always like to, I'm fine branching out. Here's the thing. In the playoffs in the off season, they still like us to make 2 podcasts a week. If the team is not in, it's going to be tough to make. I mean, I'm good. I like having guests on the show, Grumpy. I think that allows for, again, the most diversity of ideas being thrown out there. Sometimes I think to myself, okay, somebody else has a point that I never thought of. That's right. I like having that on.
I never have that issue.
Yeah, I know you're perfect, Grumpy.
I thought of every point, counterpoint, all of it.
Our goaltending would be great lately, and I'd like to hear you. Never feel bad for those pompous fans. Guys watching the show tanked now. Could have been the Islander season. AC is the best.
Anson Carter.
Or Anson Carter. Gotcha. When people abbreviate stuff, it just never clicks for me immediately.
They call him AC.
Defensive back Cooper. Okay, we know how I do with abbreviations. Please spell everything out for my sake. So Green and Chara, who is going to be back next year?
I think it'd be Chara. I think
I
Chara
don't
will be
think
back.
either will be back. Either one of them being back is it's a huge mistake. But could we sign one of them back, or do we bring back Nick Leddy? Come back, Nick Leddy. I know you.
I could see Nick Leddy coming back. Absolutely, I could.
I seriously could.
Why
Too.
not bring back Leddy and Chara? So you have Leddy replace Green, drop Chara to the third grouping, and put Leddy. Could you imagine Leddy with Dobson though? What a disaster that would be. Ugh.
Paulo C says Toronto didn't win the cup since 1967. It's been 55 years, the longest drought in all sports. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Indians are longer.
Yeah, there's
Guardians, whatever they're called now.
There's other teams that have had longer droughts.
Michael T said next year we'll take the Rangers playoff spot.
No way.
They got young players. Let's look at it like this. I think Shesterkin takes a little bit of a step back. There's no way he can play as well as he did this year. Next year, I think the team as a collective unit may take a step forward. They got a lot of young players on that team.
Yeah, they're 25 points better than we are. That's a lot of points to make up.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Grumpy. Listen to Grump. Lametz is eternal. I'll let you read that, Grump. I'm not even sure what that says.
LOL. Mets is eternal. They'll find a way to miss the playoff.
Gotcha. I said Lametz. Ross Johnson was noticeable tonight. Matt Martin wasn't, period.
Yeah, Matt Martin's finished. I don't know why he continues to get ice time. I just don't understand it.
SP said, honestly, I can't get over how boring today's game was.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Worst game of the year.
Islanders win the toilet bowl.
They're still flushing it.
SP said, watch all these delusional fans start yelling. We're only 17 points back. We're still in the race.
Okay. Maybe. We'll see.
I'll tune in with them in 10, 15 games. When I come back from Scotland and England, I'll tune in. I'll ask after how we're feeling. How are we feeling, guys? But we're here at the end of the live stream of the game. Today, we're going to be going live during a podcast tomorrow, 8 o'clock, as always on Wednesdays. Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up today?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll see you guys tomorrow.